Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Javelina Stadium. I'm Ferris Sabawi with the Javelina Broadcast Network. We're only going to be bringing you one camera angle from this game, and we do apologize for that, but a lot of rain delays here, and so that's something we have to keep in mind as we go on. Rain's still going, but no lightning, no thunder, no severe thunderstorms, so it looks like it's just going to be a rainy game, a wet game, but it looks like the show will go on. National anthem just over with here, and the captains will be going out soon to meet with the referees. And of course, the captains for the Javelinas, seniors Musa Mahmood, Trevor Pesic, and Henry Greathouse, and sophomore Greg Petrie, all captains of the Javelina squad. 2 on the offense, 2 on the defense, and a lot of leadership from them, and we're also expecting big games from them.
Oh, absolutely. Greg Petrie, named the captain for the 2014 Javelina squad. Mahmood, who averaged 12.9 yards a catch and scored 3 touchdowns, while Pesic and Greathouse appeared in all of 10 games on the defensive end of the ball in 2013, a year ago, Ferris.
So as you see, the captains did make their way, the Javelina captains at least. And Ray, right after we wrapped up our pregame segment, the rain started pouring. We're actually pretty glad we cut when we did. But there is something I noticed that I thought is worth mentioning. We saw the Javelina team still out there for quite a while.
That's right. The Javelina team stayed out there despite the rain pouring down on them, and that shows a lot about their character. They wanted to get some reps in before tonight's game.
Yeah,
and
also...
Ferris, it's good to see that because while the Colorado Mesa, ran for some cover out there, we also saw some faithful fans who stayed out here and let the rain pour down on them.
Yeah, a couple of faithful fans, so a big shout out to them. They're definitely hog wild for the Hoggies.
That's what you would call a true fan. Definitely.
Most definitely. Captains making their way to the field right now to talk to the refs, and we'll see the results of the coin toss in just a second. Like we said, Ray, we were expecting this rain, expecting it, so it looks like the Javelinas still tried out some reps while passing in the air. We'll see how much they end up resorting to it. Rain certainly has let up a lot more than when it started.
That's right, and you know that the Javelinas practicing before the game has begun here, and as the captains make their way to the field, and with the rain, it is starting to slow down here, and with sprinkling just a little bit above Javelina Stadium, it's not as much as it was earlier, and that's going to be a relief for these players going forward tonight. Captain's about to find out who's going to receive the ball. Some notes about their opponent, Colorado Mesa. Junior DJ Hubbard was named the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Special Teams Player of the Week, as the Javelinas make their way onto the field now as they prepare for Game 2 of the 2014 season, coming off a tough loss to Humboldt State a week ago.
Yeah, and usually when the Javelinas run out of the helmet, it's usually led by the Hoggy bike, but the bike isn't here today, a couple of rain delays and things like that, so maybe he just wants to keep his Harley safe, and that's okay with us.
Not a problem.
Yeah, just about game time here. And you got the cheerleaders and ponchos outside, so still a lot of fans out here. And one element from the crowd we might not be getting will be anything from the band here. It doesn't look like they'll be taking out their instruments during this rain.
And I don't see the color guard either, or the any of them making their way out here. I would have to say it has to do with the extreme conditions, and that's okay with us if it's okay with you, Ferris.
Well, certainly okay when there's all types of rain going on.
One thing I wanted to talk to you about before we get started here, before the Javelinas receive the ball. We talked about before the game, we talked about the special teams, and for Colorado Mesa and Texas A&M Kingsville, obviously with just 2 games, they're both ranked 2nd and 4th in Division II in the return average. The Mavericks are averaging 59 yards per return, and the Javelinas are right behind them at 57.
Yeah, and that makes them 2nd and 4th respectively in Division II, so that's always an interesting thing. And keep in mind, too, that these are 2 teams that have never faced off in either program's history.
Just like a week ago, the Javelinas took on Humboldt State, that was their first time meeting them as well. So some 2 straight games to remember that for Javelina history.
Yeah, plenty of firsts going on. It looks like Colorado Mesa will be the receiving team here to start things off. And obviously, we talked about it a couple of times already, Ray, but you're going to have to watch out for DJ Hubbard and Jordan Price, both of them with big kickoff returns. And we'll see what happens here as game time is going on. 3 receivers in the back for Colorado Mesa.
And Price being that RMAC Special Teams Player of the Week a week ago.
And ball received there and brought down at about the 30, a little bit before the 30 there. And it looked like that was number 24.
That's Joseph Teo, running back, 5'10", running back, 220-pound junior with the tackle there.
Yeah, so this drive is going to start at 14:52 left in the first quarter, and the ball will be on the 30-yard line to start things off. So Javelina's not giving up too much in terms of field position.
It's going to be interesting to see how the defense responds after what was not such a great second half to remember for them a week ago. See if we can capitalize here.
Yeah, the defense is certainly going to want to start out strong. And remember, keep in mind Eric Kaiser, the quarterback. And it looks like a timeout is already going to be called here. Maybe some miscommunication on the Mavericks' end. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
That can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
And welcome back to Javelina Stadium. We did miss a little bit of action while we were on break. Colorado Mesa Mavericks have advanced to the 47-yard line now, 2nd and 10. It is right here, and a handoff there to DJ Hubbard, and Hubbard runs to the 40, runs out of bounds there, so able to get on the Javelina side of the field.
DJ Hubbard with a gain of about 12 on that play.
Yeah, DJ Hubbard, certainly a quick back that the Javelinas are going to have to watch out for. And also, Eric Kaiser had thrown a pass earlier before that, but it was incomplete, and it looks like, you know, the rain is starting to factor in. So lined up here in the shotgun formation. And Kaiser going to go for the quick screen pass there, and brought down by number 28 there for the Javelinas.
Ian Jued, the senior wide receiver, the second catch of the night.
Yeah, and Kalechi Amushi with the tackle there. So 2nd and 6 is going to be the call, as both sides of the ball line up for the line of scrimmage here, which is now on the 34. 2nd and 6. Eric Kaiser fakes the handoff there to Price. Another pass there, and brought down at about the 27-yard line.
4-yard gain there for Ian, his 3rd reception of the night. Javelinas really need to keep an eye on him. That's the 3rd straight time he's gotten a reception.
And they are almost in the red zone already. 1st and 10 with 13:23 left in the first quarter. Ball is on the Javelina 23-yard line. And he's going to hand it off to Hubbard, and Hubbard stopped there by number 95 for the Javelinas. What a big tackle there by number 95.
That was Darius Lively, 6'4" defensive end, with the tackle on that play, keeping Hubbard down.
And handing it off to Hubbard again, quick off the huddle. And it looks like another fumble call. That's the 2nd fumble of the game. And the rain really causing the ball to be a little more slippery than the players expect.
Yeah, the weather's starting to play a factor here. Javelinas really need to step up on defense. We can't let things get away like they did a week ago.
Yeah, Javelinas couldn't recover yet on that ball. So 3rd and 5 now. Ball is on the Javelina 17-yard line. Javelinas going to try to hold strong and keep them out. Definitely want to prevent the first down. And, you know, especially in these conditions, it might be hard to kick a field goal as well.
That fumble forced by Robinson.
Yeah, handoff there to number 38 for the Mavericks. Number 38 there, Jarian Dennis. Brought down by Henry Greathouse. So 4th and 4 is where the ball is out right now. The kicking team comes out and looks like the Mavericks are going to try to get on the board with a field goal. Start things off.
Like a week ago, Javelinas did a great job of keeping him out of the end zone early. And, you know, if they can convert on this field goal, they'll be happy to take the 3 points instead of 7.
And calls for it. That kick there goes up, and it's good. So the Javelinas are going to trail by 3 to start things off. 11:47 left in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you.
Points, Colorado Mesa. That drive went for 9 plays and 53 yards before they kicked the field goal, and it was good. So just like last week, Javelina starting off down by 3. Big kickoff here. Oh, and dropping it in the end zone, decides to run it anyways. Able to break a few tackles. He's at the 30, and he's finally brought down there at about the 35. So number 25, Joe Crow, doing big things for the Javelinas, able to get them in decent field position to start off their first drive of the game.
Joe Crow doing a great job on that return.
Yeah, the ball's going to start on the 32, on the Javelinas 32-yard line here, 11:39, and the big question mark needs to be answered here, and that's going to be the Javelina offense.
Going to be keeping our eye on quarterback Trey Mitchell, coming off a week where he let things slip away late on the offensive end. Let's see how he responds tonight.
Yeah, Trey Mitchell gives the ball off there. Oh, and Trey Mitchell calling his own number. And Trey Mitchell keeps going. He's down to the 20, the 10, and makes it all the way. So Trey Mitchell responding to last week's disappointing performance with an opening touchdown. Trey Mitchell running it from their own 32-yard line all the way into the end zone.
And right on cue, he answers all the questions that were going into this game, and, you know, 67 yards to the end zone to give the Javelinas the lead.
And we knew Trey Mitchell's a running quarterback, and maybe Colorado Mesa didn't expect it so early on, but we knew Trey Mitchell would call his number.
Well, they definitely caught them off guard there, and it paid off for the Javelinas as we go for the extra point here.
So
and it's good to see that. It's a good way to start.
Trey Mitchell goes off the field. Max Lenning going to kick the extra point here for the Javelinas. The kick is up, and it's good. So the Javelinas starting off the way they did last week, once again leading 7-3. And let's talk about that drive there. Only one play, and Trey Mitchell took it for 67 yards.
67 yards, he ran it in, calling his own number like you said, Ferris. And that's the one thing we talked about before the game, to see how he's going to respond in the pocket. He scrambled a little bit there. He found an opening to the left, and he took off.
Yeah, faked that handoff, but really sold it on that handoff there, and ended up calling his own number, able to break a few tackles and find his way into the end zone. So the Javelinas up by 7-3, and that's something that the Javelina fans have really wanted to see, some explosiveness and some scoring from the Javelinas.
Speaking of the Javelina fans, they're making their way back to the seats now to witness that 67-yard touchdown. And one thing that we don't talk about a lot that goes underrated is the speed of our quarterback in Mitchell.
Yeah, his his throwing came under a lot of criticism last week, but he can run, and it certainly provides a dual threat the defenses have to worry about. CMU already given up 67 yards to start things off, and last week they gave up over 600 yards to the Dixie State Red Storm, so already that defense is off to a bad start.
That indeed, and to the advantage of A&M Kingsville, hopefully they can capitalize here. And remember last week, and obviously it's in the rearview mirror now, but they need to capitalize and remember that last week's gone, and you have the 7-3 lead. Let's try to hold on to it.
So the Javelinas break from the huddle, talk to their coach. They know what they want to do. Max Lenny going to come out there and kick it again. 3 players once again in the backfield for the Mavericks. So a myriad of people the ball can go to. You're going to have to watch out for 21 DJ Hubbard. He was the one that opened up the game last week for the Mavericks with a touchdown, 95-yard return, excuse me. So Lenning lines up for the kick. Javelina's excited. You got to see how their defense is going to respond to the momentum being added here after that Trey Mitchell touchdown. Kickoff there, looks like gets to the 15-yard line, and he dropped the ball there. Able to break through, but the Javelinas stop him at about the 25-yard line. So it looks like that drive is going to start at the Mavericks' 25-yard line to start things off.
It's good position for the defense to come onto the field. Hopefully this time we can stop them and not let them get anywhere near their end zone.
Yeah, Javelinas gave up 53 yards on the last drive, but didn't give up too much damage, as the Mavericks only put up a field goal.
Settling with 3, they'll take it.
Eric Kaiser comes back on the field with his squad. Kaiser with a back on either side of him. And he's going to do a screen pass there and brought down by number 22 for the Javelinas.
It's Marquise Cardinal Jr. Excuse me, Lamont Hills with the tackle on that play, the 6'1 defensive back.
Yeah, Lamont Hills.
Jr.
Looks like Mavericks back in the shotgun formation here after that screen pass didn't go so well for them. 2nd and 9, handing off the ball there. And number 55, big tackle by the Javelinas, Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams, the 6'2 linebacker, a freshman, making an impressive tackle on that play.
3rd and 8 is the call right now, and Mavericks really struggling so far on this drive, but 3rd down conversion always a big key in key games.
That's right. It's going to be very important for the Javelinas to make a stand right here. Having the 7-3 lead, the momentum will shift in their favor greatly.
Shotgun formation again. It looks like Price standing right behind quarterback Eric Kaiser. Pressure Kaiser, big throw there, and almost intercepted by number 39 for the Javelinas, Jonathan Robinson. Fingertips on that ball, just couldn't seem to get a hold of it.
Robinson saw that play from the start, and it's like he knew that he was throwing it in that area, and he just missed it.
Yeah, and give the front 7 some credit too. Javelinas adding a lot of pressure on Kaiser, forcing him to make a throw and make it fast. Robinson's going to be kicking himself in the rear end for that, but you got to give him credit.
Yeah, it's only going to give the freshman any confidence, if anything.
10:09 left in the first quarter. Javelinas up 7-3, and it looks like they're going to have to punt right now. And that punt goes at about the 30-yard line, and they're going to go ahead and let it bounce. It takes a Maverick bounce all the way to the 17-yard line or so. So that's where the Javelinas drive is going to start. We're going to take... Oh, excuse me here. I'm sorry about that. So 7-3 is the score now. There is a flag on the play, though. Let's see what the refs have to say about it. Lamont Hills is going to be called for holding, so the ball's not going to start on the 17-yard line. It's actually going to start on the Javelina 7. So Lamont Hills, maybe a foolish holding call there on him. So the Javelinas not nearly in as good as field position as they once were.
Putting themselves in a little hole there, but with the drive they had last time, you got to think the momentum in their favor. They're going to try to get it done regardless. Got to put that one behind them.
Yeah, Trey Mitchell, I definitely don't expect him to run the ball again to start this drive off, but we'll see. So the drive starting off at the 7-yard line after that holding penalty. Trey Mitchell with it back on either side of him. Calls for the ball and gives it off there to number 26 for the Javelinas. And a couple flags down on the play. but he is brought down eventually. Gain of about 7 on that play. That was number 26 for the Javelinas on the run, Sean Vasquez.
Vasquez taking 3 Mesa defenders to bring him down, really driving hard on that play. But like you said,
Flags on the play, so let's see what the refs have.
Coming back.
Yeah, see what the refs are going to have to say about that.
Bo Villarreal with the holding penalty on him.
Yeah, offensive lineman there. So the Javelinas, 2 back-to-back penalties, putting themselves in worse and worse positions. So it's going to restart first down, but they're only on their own 4-yard line. So the Javelinas really have to get out of this mess. It was plays like this that got the Javelinas in trouble when they went to punt it with Max Lenning last time around against the Lumberjacks.
That it did, and Mitchell's going to trust his running game. You know, you got Greg Peachy there next to you. Trust the running game. You don't got to rush it either. You got a 7-3 lead. Don't make the same mistake you made a week ago.
That's right. Let's see what happens here. Going to give it off to Vasquez again. Vasquez being held at his line there, so the Mavericks with a good tackle. A loss of a yard actually on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 15 now. Ball is on the Javelina 3-yard line. So the Javelinas really need to find a way to break through the line and just pick up some yards.
And if you're Trey Mitchell, I say you stick to the running game. Don't try to force the issue. It's early. You have a 7-3 lead. Trust your running backs.
Yeah, and we'll see how the Mavericks respond. We'll see how much pressure they put on the line of scrimmage here. So the Javelinas line up with 8:56 left in the first quarter. Mitchell calls for the ball. Tries to call his own number, and it's going to be a safety on that play. Mitchell being stopped in his tracks in the Javelina's own end zone. So the Mavericks going to pick up 2 more points, makes the score 7-5, and a bit interesting to see the Javelinas start off with such a big play and then really be put in their place by the Mavericks defense there.
Well, we'll put them in a hole there on the 2-yard line, I believe, and give Colorado Mesa credit. They took advantage of the field position and they made something happen with it.
Yeah, 8:48 remaining in the first quarter. Javelinas up 7-5. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
And welcome back to Javelina Stadium. Kickoff happened there, and a fake handoff. DJ Hubbard faked the handoff and able to sell some Javelinas, and a fumble was on. Fumble came down, but it looks like it's going to stay with Colorado Mesa.
Colorado Mesa trying to be a little fancy there and almost backfired for them.
Yeah, 3rd fumble of the game for them. So both teams going back to their huddles. They want to talk it over, but it looks like Colorado Mesa is going to have it. 1st and 10. Ball is going to be on the Javelina 40-yard line. Or, excuse me, the Mavericks 40-yard line there. So after Trey Mitchell opened things up with a 76-yard touchdown, Javelinas in that last drive just lost 6 yards and had to give up a safety.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they respond. A week ago, like we said against Humboldt State, when the other team scored, it seems they got a little nervous out there. But you got to realize you still have the lead despite the safety. But 7-5, early.
And not to mention plenty of clock still to go. We're still in the first half, folks. It's 8:40 left in the first quarter, and the Javelinas up by 2. So it's going to be 1st and 10 on the Mavericks 40-yard line. Eric Kaiser and his squad are coming out. And the defense led by Henry Greathouse coming out, too, to meet the challenge. DJ Hubbard lined up right behind Kaiser there. Wouldn't be crazy to expect the handoff. We'll see. Kaiser wants to talk to his line, calling an audible. Changing the play up. just a little bit. We'll see what the Javelinas respond, how the Javelinas respond. Oh, a fake handoff there, and Kaiser stopped in his tracks trying to sell the Javelinas on the handoff to DJ Hubbard, but the Javelinas really got that number.
That's Will Juarez with the tackle there, reading the play from the beginning and making his way and telling Colorado Mesa you're not running on him right at that time.
2nd and 13, ball on the Mavericks' 37-yard line. Kaiser calling for it again, hands it off to Hubbard. Hubbard breaks through the line, able to pick up about 10 yards on that play.
Hubbard bouncing back after the previous play, really finding a hole there.
Yeah, finds the 45-yard line there. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Once again, third down conversion's a big deal. Mavericks weren't able to do it last drive. We'll see how they can convert on 3rd down this time around.
Huge play right here for A&M Kingsville.
And that pass complete there. And a new quarterback took the field there. That's Andrew Cota. Andrew Cota passing to Ian Jude. And that's going to be a 1st down. So Eric Kaiser steps off. Andrew Cota on. And Hubbard couldn't find too much leeway on the line there. Picks up about 2 or 3 yards. Henry Greathouse on the tackle there.
Cota, the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, 2nd and 8.
Colorado Mesa.
Cota looking to throw. Oh! Almost found number 4, Daniel Rankin there, but the Javelinas were lucky he dropped the ball on that play.
Javelinas are indeed lucky he dropped the ball on that play. Definitely dodging a bullet there.
Yeah, and 3 Javelina players in the area, none of them committing to Daniel Rankin.
Rankin just dropped it. If not, that could have been an easy touchdown for Colorado Mesa, but the Javelinas are glad it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, Cota back on the field now, so we'll see what's wrong with Eric Kaiser. Maybe he's injured. Maybe he just stepped off the field. And another throw from Cota, finding number 7, Ian Jude again. That's a big 1st down.
Ian Jude having a great night so far, capitalizing no matter who's behind the center.
So that pass to Daniel Rankin dropped, but Ian Jude, another down here. Hubbard and Cota. Cota being brought down by number 95 for the Javelinas. Darius Lively not letting any yardage go through that time.
Lively with his 2nd tackle of the night, the 250-pound senior defensive end.
Yeah, and give him credit. Looked like Cota was breaking, and Lively literally kept him there. 2nd and 11 now is the call. The ball's on the 34-yard line. Actually, 2nd and 10, excuse me. So Cota on there. Shotgun formation. Quick handoff to DJ Hubbard. Hubbard breaks through, but not able to pick up that much yardage. Certainly not finding the 1st down. It's going to be about 3rd and 5. And the Javelinas giving up some yardage, but able to put up a good fight, not letting any, too many breakthrough plays happen. That's always good to see.
And Andrew Cota, the freshman quarterback who is now in there for Colorado Mesa, the Javelinas need to take advantage of this. And, he may not have the experience. He's playing well thus far, but got a long way to go. Yeah,
still early in the game here. Hands off to Hubbard. Hubbard trying to beat Lively. Lively catches him again. So give credit to Hubbard. That's going to be 4th down and about 3. I don't see them going for it. They'll probably bring out the kicking squad. But it looks like the offense staying out there, so they might give it a shot here. Offense going to give it a shot, so the Javelina is going to have to try to stop them dead in their tracks. We'll see what they come up with. Cota's been throwing so far. I wouldn't be surprised if he faked the handoff and went in the air.
And Lively becoming familiar.
Yeah, Javelina secondary going to have to watch out here. And he drops the ball. And a fumble, and no matter what, the Javelinas are going to end up with the ball here.
And right on cue, talking about the freshman being inexperienced, the Javelinas did a great job of taking advantage of that play there.
Yeah, and it looks like they anticipated the pass from Andrew Cota, so able to charge the field there. 5:24 left in the first quarter. Javelinas are up 7-5, and both teams are going to talk it over here in the huddle. You got to give Javelinas credit. The secondary knew what to expect, and not only that, able to put enough pressure, blitz Cota, and it really worked in the Javelinas' favor. Not only do they get the turnover on downs, but they get it at the 45-yard line.
Very impressed with the way the Javelinas responded on that drive for their defense, keeping Cota in place. He got a little hot early. He seemed like he knew what he was doing out there, and the Javelinas responded.
Defense with a strong response there. That drive for Colorado Mesa was a 10 was 10 plays and ended up for 16 yards there. So 5:24 left in the first quarter. Trey Mitchell back on the field with the offense. Trey Mitchell throw there. And Greg Petrie breaks through, able to get to the opposing side of the field. Greg Petrie going to pick up the first down on that one as well.
Petrie finally able to break free and get some yards on that play. We talked about Petrie before the game. With the rain being a factor here tonight, we're going to see the running game a little bit more than often, and Petrie capitalizing.
Shotgun formation. Mitchell hands it off to Petrie, calling his own number, but the Mavericks are on it that time. You know, even though the Javelinas lost some yardage on that play, give credit to Mitchell, able to keep the ball in his hands, and especially with the conditions as wet as they are, you know, that's something the Javelinas have to kind of appreciate.
That's right. That's exactly right. Way to stay poised for the freshman quarterback.
4:52 on the clock, second down, 14 yards to go after that sack. Trey Mitchell's got Greg Petrie lined up with him. We'll see if he goes for another screen pass like he did a couple of plays ago. Trey Mitchell, another screen pass to Greg Petrie. Petrie breaking through. And Petrie picking up another about 10 yards there. It looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 4. And so the screen pass really being effective because, you know, Greg Petrie is a smaller running back, but when you get him in the open field, he's as quick as they come.
For Greg Petrie, it seems size doesn't really matter. He makes it happen regardless. If you can get him a block, you can get him a key spot to run through, he'll take advantage of it.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 now. Javelinas need to pick up the first down on this one. Trey Mitchell looking over to his line. It's 15 seconds on the play clock, so still plenty of time for the offense to come up with something here. Greg Petrie goes to the other side of Mitchell now. And Mitchell calls for it. Hands it off to Petrie. Petrie breaks through for the first down. Greg Petrie picking up the first down, so the Javelinas able to convert on 3rd down, I believe. They might want to measure that to make sure. I might be a little short from this vantage point. And it looks like it's going to be 4th and 1. Javelinas are going to go for it, though. Only 1 yard to pick up. You know they're going to probably try the sneak, maybe pick up a couple yards. And the Javelinas certainly able to there.
Mitchell sneaking in on there for the yard to get that first down.
Yeah, and give Petrie credit, able to kind of push through and help any way he can. So it's going to be the first down for the Javelinas. 1st and 10, ball on the Mavericks' 31-yard line. 3:28 left in the first quarter. And the Javelinas slowly finding their way to the end zone. And they're certainly going to want to score after giving up a safety.
And if you're A&M Kingsville, you keep on doing what you're doing. You stay with his game plan. You don't want to do too much. You're driving the ball. You just keep at it.
And hikes the ball, gives it off to Sean Vasquez. Sean Vasquez finds his way to the outside, able to break down. Sean Vasquez almost finding the end zone, gets pushed out of bounds there at about the 12-yard line.
Sean Vasquez really finding his way there on the left side of the field. 5'10" junior.
Might have been Joseph Teau on that run, actually. Excuse me, I might have been wrong on that call. And it was number 24, yeah, Joseph Teau on that last run.
Joseph Teau, the 5'10" running back.
It looks like there's an injury down on the field. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Javelina Stadium. Javelina is able to break through to the red zone, 3rd and 6. Right now the ball is on the 6-yard line. Javelina is going to want to score here, or they'll probably opt to kick it. Trey Mitchell looks back at the Javelina's coaching staff to see what he wants to draw up. 3rd and 6, 1:25 left. Hikes the ball off, gives it off to Joseph Teao. And Teao not able to find it. But a flag on the play. We'll see what happens. It looks like the flag got thrown down a little bit late. Let's see what the refs confer.
Okay, I fixed it.
And the refs conferring. Face mask going on Termer battle for the Mavericks, and right when it looked like the Javelinas were going to have to opt to take the field goal, they have a fresh set of downs to work with.
That they do, and they need to take advantage of it here. And Trey Mitchell's looking to respond to that call. The Javelinas only 5 yards away from another touchdown.
Yeah, ball's on the Maverick 3-yard line right now.
3 yards away, excuse me.
Yeah, 3 yards away from the end zone. Refs want to talk about something here. Joseph Teao in the backfield for the Javelinas, as the refs might be discussing something either about the clock. About 1:10 left in the first quarter. Javelinas up 7-5, and the ball is on the Mavericks 3-yard line. So Joseph Teao in the backfield. And Mitchell calls for the ball. Hikes it off, gives it off to Mitchell. Mitchell finds the end zone once again. Trey Mitchell, 2nd touchdown of the game on a 3-yard run, and it looked like everybody was focused on Joseph Teao except for Trey Mitchell.
That's right, Ferris. The whole Colorado Mesa defense was fooled on that play. What a terrific call by Callaway and his staff to run that play. Trey Mitchell doing it again with his feet.
Yeah, 2nd touchdown there by running quarterback Trey Mitchell. So Max Lenning takes the field again. It looks like they're going to go for another extra point kick. 13-5 is the score now with 54 seconds left on the clock. But extra point kick still hasn't gone up, so let's see what happens when Max Lenning takes the field. Sets up there. Kick is up. And he finds the end zone. Max Lenning good on both extra point kicks so far. So 54 seconds left in the first quarter. Javelinas up 14-5. And the Javelinas, after giving up the safety, able to respond on that last drive. It was 6 plays, 48 yards. And you got to give some credit to Trey Mitchell finding the end zone once again.
That you do, and just like the field goal Colorado Mesa made, the Javelinas bounced back and responded. Just like the safety, they didn't put their heads down, they kept their heads up and they responded. And like you said, Ferris, give all credit to Mitchell. He stayed poised. What a terrific play call on the Javelinas' part that had the Mesa defense completely fooled as Mitchell ran that one in.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of passing yet, and that's expected with the weather the way it is. But it looks like this, so far, Callaway's been drawing up the plays more to Mitchell's strengths.
Definitely taking advantage of that. And like we talked about the game, the young man, the questions that we had, and he's answered them so far.
Yeah, certainly able to respond this week after the disappointing Week 1 performance where he was forced to throw quite a bit. 54 seconds left in the game. Max Lenning going to kick things off here. About 3 receivers once again in the Mavericks side of the field. So big kickoff there. And another fake handoff, but certainly didn't sell anybody on that one. And that's number 16 Finally brought down at the 40-yard line. Give number 16, Vernal Moon, some credit. Able to find some open ground, advance his team all the way up to the 40-yard line to start their drive. So 43.9 seconds left in the first quarter. Javelina's up 14-5. And Andrew Cota making his way back out there. Looks like Eric Kaiser might have suffered an injury.
The Javelinas are going to have to respond just like they did in the last drive against Cota. They did an excellent job at pressuring him late, and it paid off.
Yeah, defense certainly can't let up. A flag on the play. Looks like an illegal man on the field there on that penalty call. So instead of starting at the 35-yard line, instead of starting on the 40-yard line, excuse me, they're going to start on the 35-yard line. So ball the Mavericks 35. 1st and 15 here to start off the drive for the Mavericks. Cota calls for it. Hands it off. And that's number 38 there for the Mavericks on that run. Looked like that was Jerron Dennis. And as the play clock runs out, or as the game clock runs out, it looks like the first quarter just about to wind up here. 24 seconds left on the clock. Cota still out there with Jerrion Dennis still in the backfield with him. Jerrion Dennis gets the handoff again and stopped right there in his tracks, so no gain on the play. As the play clock winds down here, the first quarter is going to come to an end before we see another snap happen. So at the end of the first quarter, Javelina's up 14-5 thanks to 2 Trey Mitchell touchdowns. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Javelina Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Javelina Stadium. Things getting started off here. Andrew Cota starting off the second quarter with a pass to Jerrion Dennis. Dennis breaking through, almost found the end zone, and you got to give some credit to the Javelina defense, able to stop him before it was too late.
The Javelina defense did a great job at stopping him, tripping him up just before he broke through, which would have been a touchdown for Colorado Mesa, but the defense stepped it up like you said, and they made the play to stop him.
Yeah, and it looks like the Mavericks really don't want to huddle. Already back, ready to go. So Jerrion Dennis right there. Going to take the run. Javelina stop him right there. Pickups of about 3 or 4 yards there. So the ball's going to be on the Javelina 37-yard line. Jerrion Dennis still in the backfield there with Cota. 2nd and 7. Ball on the Javelina 37-yard line. Cota snaps. Looks for the quick throw to Ian Jude, and he finds it. No fumble there with that big tackle. Another first down there. So Javelina defense not really responding to the fast pace that the Mavericks are bringing this drive around.
Cota, second drive out there, and him and Ian have connected well.
Jerrion Dennis with a handoff there, able to dodge a Javelina, but takes a couple to bring him down. Nonetheless, gets brought down. No gain on the play, maybe a loss of a yard. And once again, no huddle offense here shown by the Mavericks. It looks like they want to get back on the line and get back on it quick.
Despite it being just the second quarter, they're really rushing things here quickly, trying to get the momentum and maybe trying to catch the Javelinas off guard.
Yeah, 20 seconds on the play clock. 13:43 left in the second quarter as the Mavericks trail by 9, 14-5 is the score with the 2 Trey Mitchell touchdowns that happened in the first quarter. And it looks like there might be a false start. And so as the Mavericks try to rush things, Ray, it looks like they might have rushed things a little too much, picking up the false start.
Well, I honestly don't know what they're doing out there, Ferris. They're rushing things, and it just cost them 5 yards. This isn't second quarter. It's early. They're down 9, but they really want to get the pace going.
And Coda snaps the ball there, finds Judd again. Judd able to get back to about where the original down started. It's 3rd and 15 now, so the Javelinas in a good position to prevent the Mavericks from finding their first touchdown of the game. Just some stats so far. Javelinas only with 24 passing yards, while the Mavericks have 54. Coda snaps the ball kind of low there. No pressure on Coda. He has time, and he's going to try to run out in the scramble. Finds number 8 there. And is it enough for the first down? That's the big question.
Javelina defense expecting the pass on that play, leaving Coda just to have his way as he waited in the pocket and made his time, and he connected with his receiver to gain 6 yards.
Yeah, Daniel Purse able to pick up the first down for the Mavericks, so the Mavericks going to get a fresh set of downs to work with. They are just about actually in the red zone here. Coda snaps it, gives it off to Jerion Dennis, able to break the tackles, gets about a gain of 5 on that play, so it's going to be 2nd and 5 here, and it looks like the Javelina defense not holding up quite strong in this drive.
Well, nice play from Jerion Dennis, the sophomore running back. Great play. He broke away from a tackle and got a little extra yardage on that play.
Yeah, and so far, Mavericks have 13 carries for about 23 yards. Coda scrambling out. Tough pass there, but finds its target.
And the Javelina showing what happens when you pressure Coda, forcing him to throw it. That catch was accurate, but just a little too much, and give the Javelina defense credit for pressuring him. That's what they got to do with this rookie quarterback.
Yeah, out of bounds ruled there on that play. So 3rd and 7. Ball is on the Javelina 12-yard line. Give Anthony Forker credit on that one, able to pressure where pressure is needed. So Coda lines up, looks towards his side of the sidelines, see what the coaches want him to do. Coda hikes the ball, fakes off the snap, and he is sacked, brought down on that play. So Andrew Coda, after trying to do something smart, Javelinas pressured him, forced him out, and then ended up sacking him anyways.
And that's what they got to do. They just got to keep it up. If they can keep on pressuring the young quarterback in Coda, they can keep the same results will happen. You pressure him, he looks confused and dazzled out there. When you let him have his way, he'll make a play.
Exactly, so the pressure very important here. Another field goal gonna come up. It's gonna be a 33-yard field goal. Javelina is gonna try to make some big plays happen. Kick is up, and it's no good. Outside the mark there. So Javelina's, and a flag is already down on the field. And it looks like it's gonna go against the Javelinas.
Javelina's shooting themselves in the foot there.
Yeah, you know, they might end up with the ball, but it's going to be in worse yardage than they want. We'll see what the refs say. Looks like a little bit of conference going on between them, maybe a little bit of disagreement.
Eric's going back to that last play. You got to give the Javelina defense credit once again, stepping up and just making things happen.
Henry Greathouse picking up the personal foul there, so that's going to put the Javelinas in a bad way to start off their drive here. It's going to be 1st and 10. The ball's going to be on the 16-yard line for the Hogs. And you have to give the Javelinas credit. You know, although the Mavericks were able to build up a lot of steam on that drive, able to get almost all the way down the field, not only did they not find the end zone, but they weren't able to score on the field goal either.
And it's like deja vu from a week ago. What a strong first half from A&M Kingsville. But the question is, can they keep it up? Can they keep the pressure on the young quarterback? This is his first time being out on the college level field. We're talking about a rookie freshman who hasn't had any experience out there. So the Javelinas really need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, 11:22 left in the second quarter. Javelinas up 14-5 so far. And the Javelinas are going to start this drive on their own 8-yard line after the penalty called on Henry Greathouse for the personal foul. So the Javelinas, it's going to be 1st and 10 while the Whataburger dance-off goes on here. But when there's only one person dancing in the Whataburger dance-off, I think it's already decided who's going to win.
I think we might have to take our headsets off and go join them down there, Ferris.
Yeah, I can definitely bust a move or two. Known to do that in my day. Javelinas line up to start this drive on the 8-yard line. Mitchell calls for Greg Petrie next to him. Petrie's going to start the run off. And brought back there. It took a lot of Mavericks to get that tackle, but it eventually did. It looked like it might be a loss of yards on the play. Petrie a little bit slow to get up, and a flag down on the field. So another flag. We're going to see what the refs say. So the penalty is declined. It's going to be a 2nd and about 11 here. So Javelina's, when they gave up the safety in the first quarter, this is the position they found themselves in. So quite like the situation they found themselves in the first quarter, Javelina's going to have to bounce back and respond. Trey Mitchell calls for the ball, gives it off to Petrie. Petrie hands off, able to break the line of scrimmage and pick up a couple yards on that, at least within the yard markers again.
And Petrie running that drive right up the middle, letting him know that he's not going to let what happened last drive happen again.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3rd and 8. Javelinas really are going to want to try to, break the line of scrimmage, get through and get the first down, because they do not have good field position, and a punt, even punting it off, would put the Mavericks in a good spot to start their drive. You don't want them working with a small field like that. Trey Mitchell calls for it, gives it off to Sean Vasquez. Sean Vasquez runs through, stopped by 4 Mavericks there. So no gain on the play. It's going to be a 4th and about 8. Javelina's going to have to punt this one off, and all eyes are going to be on Max Lenning.
And Max Lenning, for the first time, will be kicking against the wind, if any. It's not much out there, but it definitely is going in the direction of the west.
Yeah, Trey Mitchell tried to hand it off to Sean Vasquez, and he was probably hoping that the Mavericks were going to go after him instead. But able to read him on that play, caught Sean Vasquez. And so the punting squad comes out now. And Max Lenning finding himself in a situation much like last week. So all eyes on him, and you got to wonder if he's feeling the pressure. 9:56 left in the second quarter. Picking it up, punt there, taking the Javelina bounce. And brought down there at the Mavericks, at the Javelina's 40-yard line. So they're going to start the drive after that. We're going to take a quick commercial break on the Javelina Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Just finished there. DJ Hubbard got tackled, not able to pick up any yardage. Actually, 2 plays happened, so it's 3rd and 7 here. Ball is on the Javelina 36-yard line, under 9 minutes to go here in the half. So Javelina defense is certainly going to want to keep it strong going into halftime, but like you said, Ray, question marks on how they're going to come out in the second half. And it's Kaiser that's back out there. And a pass to, it looked like Ian Judd.
Kaiser so close to going down on that play, was able to get a pass off at the last second.
And it was a good amount of yardage for the Mavericks, but not enough to get the first down. 4th and 2 on the play. And it looks like they're going to go for it. They do have decent field position. It's maybe not a bad idea to go for it. The last time that they tried to convert, though, it did not work for them on 4th down.
That's right, Ferris. Javelina defense responded right when they needed to, and let's see if they can do it again right here on this drive.
Yeah, they are 0-1 on 4th down so far in converting. Kaiser rolling out, trying to find the pass, and it's not there. So the second time that the Mavericks tried to convert on a 4th down, they find themselves having to leave the field. Turnover on downs. Javelina is going to take things to with 8:05 left in the first half.
Although there's a lot of time left in the game, we're seeing a whole different A&M Kingsville team out there on the field from last week. Great defensive stand for them.
That's right. So you found Eric Kaiser back on the field there, but it didn't make much of a difference for the Javelinas, able to play solid defense. 8:05 left in the second quarter now. Ball's going to be on the Javelina 31-yard line to start this drive. Trey Mitchell takes the field. You got Petrie behind him, and you got Joseph Teow to the other side. So Mitchell calls for it, gives it off to Petrie. Petrie, maybe a gain of about 1 or 2 on the play, not even.
With about 7:55 left here in the first half.
Actually lost the yard on that play, so 2nd and 11 here.
Just like a week ago, Ferris, with 7:47 left in the first half, the Javelinas have that advantage. Hopefully they can stay and keep it.
So a different formation here. Looks like the shotgun formation for the Javelinas. It's once again Trey Mitchell, under center. Trey Mitchell calls for it, gives it off to Greg Petrie. Petrie breaks through the line that time, and a flag is going to go down on the play, and it looks like it might go on the Mavericks. We'll see what the refs say. Flags have been thrown several times already to start things off here.
It seems every time we look up, we see a yellow flag on the floor, on the field, Ferris, but some of them going the Hoggies' way, some of them not. Let's see what happens on this drive.
This is the 7th flag. And the ref going to call it here. So that's going to wipe out the drive there for the Javelina. So Greg Petrie not going to pick up that yardage. They're going to have to start 2nd and 21. So Javelinas find themselves in a tough spot after those back-to-back touchdowns from Trey Mitchell. 7th penalty there. And just like you said, Ray, it's been going both ways. Javelinas, that was their 4th penalty, and the Mavericks have 3 of their own. So Mitchell in the shotgun formation. He's going to have to go for the screen pass, finds Petrie, and Petrie with 3 on him, breaks through, and Petrie keeps going there. Give Petrie credit, able to slice and dice between the defenders, and picks up a lot of yardage there, not enough for the first down.
And Petrie, like we talked about before the game, needing to take advantage of the running plays, and he has done that so far.
Yeah, so 6:36 left in the second quarter. Javelinas up 14-5. It's going to be 3rd and 14 after that run. So Petrie, although picking up yardage, only picked up about 7 yards there. Trey Mitchell under center. And another screen pass there. And is it enough to pick up the first down? I think it is, and it might be enough for the touchdown. Oh, and brought down there, but Musa Mahmood, first target of the game, first reception of the game, and able to find the lovely, lovely first down.
Musa Mahmood, a guy that we spoke about several times before the game, Ferris, and we talked about him coming out tonight, and maybe will this be his breakout game? Well, with that drive right there, it just might be.
Yeah, flag on the play, though. We got to watch out. See what the ref has to say. 6:08 left in the second quarter.
10th flag of the night.
It seems like the Javelinas cannot catch a break, and the refs really out there, really prone to throwing their flags. The refs really want to try to keep control of this game.
That's right, Ferris, and despite the penalty that went against the Javelinas, maybe that'll give a spark to Musa Mahmood to do something here again.
Yeah, it's still a big play by Mahmood regardless. 3rd and 16 now is the call. 6:04 left in the first half. So penalties really holding the Javelinas back, not being able to find their side of the field. So Trey Mitchell, another flag on the play. We'll see, and that goes right to number 22. And the Javelinas need to try to make a tackle here. And that was number 22 on the interception there, Jordan Price, the senior defensive back. But flag on the play, we'll have to see what's called.
And Mitchell playing well so early in this ball game. We talked about before the game the things that he shouldn't do, and that's rush the ball and try to throw it when the defense is coming at him, and that's the mistake he made on that play.
And offsides looks like it's going to be called on the defense. Javelinas catch a break there. So Trey Mitchell, instead of throwing an interception, is going to be able to restart that play. So 3rd and 11 now after that holding call. And the Javelinas certainly must have been a little relieved to find out that the flag wasn't on them this time.
Well, just like Musa Mahmood losing his yardage, the Javelinas catch a break, like you said, and it goes against Mesa on this drive.
Yeah, and you know, Trey Mitchell is going to have to be a lot more careful with the ball. That was an easy pick for Jordan Price. Almost too easy. 12 seconds there on the game clock. Trey Mitchell needs to look at his sideline, find out what to do here. 5:23 left in the first half. And number 85 almost on the catch there, but it looked like Jordan Price able to break up that pass. So maybe Price a little bit angry about not being able to get that interception. Picks off the pass, breaks it off, so Javelina's going to have to punt again. So we saw a strong first quarter from the Javelinas, but they really haven't been able to pick up much yardage here to end the half.
And on that last play, give Price credit. The pass before was obviously Mitchell rushing it in right to the Colorado Mesa defender, but on that play, you got to give Price credit just for hustling to make the block.
Yeah, and it looked like that ball was originally going to Kendall Hensley or Jonathan Shingle athlete. Patrick LaFleur runs out here. So it's going to be a delay of game now on the Javelinas. And you heard everybody call to take the timeout, but none of the Javelinas, not even the coaches, were focused on the play clock. Play clock runs down there and expires, so the Javelinas going to have to punt from even further back. And the Javelinas' defense has held up strong enough, but you got to be a little disappointed that the offense hasn't cushioned their lead more.
That's right, just by giving up 5 points. The offense up with 9 here. Could have been more.
Yeah, tough snap there. Lenning able to jump and catch it. Punt there. It's going to drop about the 43-yard line there. It's going to be the Javelinas' 43-yard line. So 4:53 left in the first half. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Javelina Stadium. Rain still falling here as the first half starts to wind down. 4:53 left in the second quarter. Javelina's up 14-5, and the Mavericks about to start their drive. We saw a little bit of Andrew Cota out under center for the Mavericks, but starter Eric Kaiser has come back. Let's see how he does on this drive. Eric Kaiser scrambles just a little bit. Long throw here, and the Javelina secondary not able to stop. Oh, it looks like no play was made there. Oh, actually it was. Big reception there.
And Kaiser probably with his biggest play of the game on that drive for Colorado Mesa.
Yeah, what a throw. And really, with 3 defenders there, you got to find a way to break up that pass.
That you do, and with the Colorado Mesa in the end zone once again, it's going to be interesting to see how the Javelinas will respond.
Yeah, it looks like Price in the backfield here gives it off. Not able to find too much yardage, but does advance a little bit, so ball's on about the Javelina 1-yard line. 4:20 left in the second quarter here. Javelina's up 14-5. It's been a quiet quarter in terms of scoring, but Eric Kaiser is going to find the first touchdown for the Mavericks. And, when the Javelinas aren't picking up that much yardage, keeping the ball on that side of the field, it was bound to happen that the Mavericks were going to find their way to the end zone.
It was bound to happen, and when you give a team 3 chances to be in the red zone like that, something's bound to happen, like you said. And with 2 yards to go, Kaiser called his own number and ran it right through the middle.
Yeah, too many flags down for the Javelinas in these past few drives for them. So the kick going to go up here. The kick is up, and it makes its way into between the poles, I mean. So 4:08, Javelina's up 14-12. So Javelina's not able to build up too much momentum in the second quarter after quarterback Trey Mitchell able to find himself scoring 2 touchdowns after what was a disappointing week 1 for him.
Well, it's a repeat of last week once again, Ferris, and like we talked about last week, the Javelinas, despite giving up that touchdown, they still have the lead, and it's going to be interesting to see how they can respond. With 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first half, will they do what they did last week? Will they go into the locker room being up, and then collapse in the second half, or will they go into the locker room up and keep it that way?
Yeah, you know, and while the Javelinas have the slim 2-point lead here, they're going to want to, you know, play conservatively, but they're still going to have to be creative and able to find downs here. There's still plenty of time left, and the Javelinas certainly do not have a safe lead.
They don't, and with that being said, Trey Mitchell, he's going to be tested once again. Spectacular first quarter for the junior quarterback, and now being up 2 here, it's going to be interesting to see how he responds.
Yeah, Joe Crow and Anthony Washington are set to receive here. So 4:08 left in the second quarter as the kickoff about to start. Still plenty of time. Javelinas might be able to add a touchdown here before the half winds down. So the big kickoff here. And that's going to be Washington, drops it, able to pick it up. He's going to have to make up that yardage. Washington dodges the first tackle and not able to break the second one, though. So ball's going to go down at about the 27-yard line, the Javelina 27-yard line. And even though that wasn't that much yardage picked up by Anthony Washington, the Javelinas still find themselves in a better position to start their drive than they have in the last few, in fact, this whole quarter practically.
Well, Washington being the story of last week's game with his 96-yard kickoff return, he had us on our feet again on that drive, and it's only a matter of time before he gets started. He gets going.
Rain keeps falling here at Javelina Stadium, so the conditions still wet. The ball still sleek. 14-12 is the score. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for the Javelinas. Ball is on their own 22-yard line. Trey Mitchell still out there. Looks like he has Greg Petrie to the other side of him. Couple receivers lined up. 2 to his left and 1 to his right. Mitchell hands that off, and that is a loss of yards for the Javelinas. So handing it off there to number 22 for the Javelinas, that was Marquise Cardinal Jr., and he got stopped dead in his tracks, got his lunch packed for him there.
Marquise, a player that a week ago, that surprised us and came out strong with some huge drives for the Javelinas. He's getting a chance to get some playing time now. Not much on that play, but I expect to see more from Marquise.
Yeah, Cardinal's still out there on the field, so it looks like the coach is still going to trust him. 3:30 left on the clock now. 14-12 is the score. 2nd and 16 after that big tackle by the Mavericks. Mitchell calling an audible here. And Mitchell scrambling here. He's going to want to go for the pass and throws it out of bounds. He had no other option there. And it's a kind of interesting thing. You saw Mitchell stand off there, and the defender actually didn't really try to pursue him after that.
It's as if he wanted Mitchell to throw on that play, knowing Mitchell, you know, tends to struggle a little bit when he has time in the pocket and he starts to get pressured a little bit. But on that time, he's fortunate to throw it out of bounds, and the Javelinas will try it again.
Mitchell also not really a dual threat in terms of quarterback. His passing really needs to improve if he wants to make a difference through the air, especially in the Lone Star Conference. 3:08 left on the clock now, 3:09, excuse me. 3rd and 16 here. And it's going to, and blitz there. And Cardinal caught the ball, but the Mavericks were right on his tail end there. So with 3 minutes left in the half, Javelinas is going to have to punt it off again, 4th and 16. So the offense not finding too much productivity there, and Mavericks give them credit for knowing that the pass was coming and really able to pressure the quarterback with that blitz.
You couldn't have said it better, Ferris. Give the Colorado Mesa credit. They're playing extremely well on the defensive side of the ball in the second quarter, and they're capitalizing on everything that the Javelinas are doing.
Yeah, Lenning is going to have to punt, and better than that, the punt happened last time. And fair catch called there by number 24 for the Mavericks there. That was Tyler Winder there who called for it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Javelina Broadcast Network. We'll be right back to end the first half.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov.
And we're back at Javelina Stadium here, 1:44 on the clock. So far, Mavericks not able to pick up too much yardage after that punt. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Eric Kaiser was able to pick up some yards there, and I think they even picked up the first down while we were on commercial break. But 1:44 left on the clock. And he has Jerion Dennis next to him. Kaiser is looking to throw and scrambled there, had to throw it away, had no choice there, so good job by the Javelinas providing plenty of pressure.
Javelina defense doing a great job getting to Kaiser on that play.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. Javelinas certainly going to want to stop them. They really can't handle any more Mavericks offense.
They can, especially with the 2-point lead right this early still left in the game. Plenty of time, like we said, but you're right, Ferris. The way last week turned out, the Javelinas need to take control of this 2-point lead and try to extend it. And it starts on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. Kaiser brought in his team for the huddle really quick to come up with a play. Javelinas lined up here, certainly going to want to stop, not let the 3rd down conversion go through. Kaiser, screen pass there, right through the hands of Jerion Dennis, so it's going to be 4th and 10 after that incomplete pass, so 1:33 left on the clock, and this might be a little too far for the field goal. We're going to have to see what kind of squad comes out.
That's right, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Javelinas will respond here with a minute 33 left in the first half.
Yeah, special teams coming out here for both squads. Anthony Washington, Greg Petrie in the backfield, both ready to receive. So with 2 receivers out there ready to receive, it looks like the Javelinas aren't really going to try to block the punt, but rather, make sure that there's a receiver there to try to run it up, especially with the clock down to 1:33.
Well, with a little time left, they might be able to make something out of it, and even if it is just maybe 3 points, the Javelinas will settle for that.
Yeah, they definitely need it. So fair catch called here, and it's going to be a touchback. Good punt there by the Mavericks. So the ball's going to start at the Javelinas' 25-yard line here. After some discussion, the Javelinas certainly need to pick up some offense so far. A couple of stats coming your way here. Javelinas 93 yards on the ground, while the Mavericks only have 30 yards on the ground with 20 carries. So the Mavericks certainly not too efficient on the ground, but where one excels, the other is deficient. Javelinas only 44 yards through the air, while the Mavericks have picked up 104 already in the first half.
And Eric Kaiser, despite not playing for an amount of time there, he's 6 for 12 with a total of 77 yards.
So 3 seconds left on the play clock. He's going to have to take a timeout and another delay of game. And here's what I don't understand, Ray, is that, it looks like the timeout was actually called in time. So coach is able to, consider that and see the play clock winding down. And, it was maybe good. Maybe it wasn't the play the Javelinas were looking for with the defensive set that came out for the Mavericks.
Well, they called that one just in the nick of time, or else we would have had another delay of game, which we had before, where it looked like no one knew what was going on there, and it looked like the same thing there on that play. But Javelinas fortunate to call that just into the nick of time.
Yeah, so 1:26 left in the first half here as the different squads talk some strategy. 14-12 Javelinas lead, and what started off with a big Javelina lead has slowly diminished. Javelinas gave up a safety, a field goal, and then Eric Kaiser with the quarterback sneak to pick up the touchdown. So touchdowns coming only from quarterbacks so far in this game, and maybe not the game we expected, but certainly a close one to start things off here for week 2.
Quarterbacks caught us by surprise on both sides of the ball.
So Trey Mitchell back on the field with his squad. And Mitchell hands it off there to Sean Vasquez. And Vasquez gets stopped.
Blake Nelson keeping Vasquez from breaking free. If it wasn't for Nelson's grab on that drive, who knows how far Vasquez could have ran on that play.
So another play here, play clock at about 26. The game clock at 1:03 and counting. So 2nd and 7 on this drive. Javelina's going to have to try to break through, excuse me. Under a minute left here, play clock still winding down. Trey Mitchell's going to let it go almost all the way down before he calls for it. Finally gets it. And Trey Mitchell calls his own number. Has to take a couple of hits, gains a couple of yards, but not as much as he was hoping for as the clock seems to wind down here. It looks like they might want to call a timeout. I think they still have one to burn.
And with 32 seconds left, the Javelinas need to remember just to take their time. They're up 2. It's still early. It's the first half. As the first half comes to an end, they can't afford to make a mistake and let Mesa get something going here with 32 seconds left.
Yeah, and while the Javelinas are going to want to try, a play to get enough yardage to get them into field goal range, at the same time, like you said, Ray, they don't want to do anything a little too heinous, a little too reckless to the point where Mesa has the ball back and returns it. They don't want to give up a pick six. They certainly don't want to give up a turnover. And it looks like they're going to go into the first half with a slight 2-point lead. Stick around with us at halftime. There's going to be a lot of halftime analysis coming from Robert Breedlove, one of our analysts here.
And if you're A&M Kingsville, you have to be pleased. I mean, if you told Coach Calloway a week ago, if we asked him, Ferris, would you be satisfied with the 2-point lead going into the half? I'm sure any coach would take that.
Yeah, and certainly going to have to be a lot of discussion. Now, we might see the Javelinas rejuvenated. The defense certainly does need a break after all they've endured in the second quarter, so they're going to have a good break, and hopefully the Javelinas will be able to come back rejuvenated. So timeout ends here, and it really looks like Trey Mitchell's looking to throw. Hands it off to Joseph Te'o instead. Te'o able to break a couple of tackles. Te'o runs through and finally brought down. He might have gone down in bounds, actually, so it looks like the clock is going to keep running. Now, it is enough for the first down. And it looks like they're going to say he's out of bounds as the play clock is going down, but not the game clock. So 24 seconds left on the clock. Javelinas want to try to pick up some more yardage here and try to get themselves in field goal range. With only 24 seconds left on the clock, it's going to have to be, maybe a quick catch, and you're going to have to make sure you run out of bounds there to preserve some time.
Yeah, the clock not on the Javelinas side for this drive, about 30 yards away from field goal range.
Yeah, tough for them. Let's see what they come up with here. Trey Mitchell calls for it, gives it off to Garrick Petrie. Petrie splits 2 defenders and almost able to stiff arm that, but that's a big tackle there by the Mavericks. You're going to have to give credit to number 36, Isaac Koch, able to contain Petrie. And, that's one of Petrie's problems, just his physical setback of being too small as the clock winds down here. And it looks like they're not going to try another play. So as the first half comes to an end, the Javelinas up 14-12 after a pair of Trey Mitchell touchdowns. We'll see if they're able to preserve the lead and maybe even cushion it in the second half. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Robert Breedlove with some halftime analysis.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
All right, it's halftime here in Javelina Stadium. This is Robert Breedlove with the halftime report. It's raining, it's pouring, but the old man is not snoring. It's been quite an exciting half here in Kingsville, Texas. It's 12-14. The Javelinas are leading over the Colorado Mesa Mavericks. Okay, to get a bit of a scoring summary, it's been, once again, quite an active first half. It all started off with the first drive by Colorado Mesa. They had a fumble early on. They recovered, and they ended the drive, and then another one, and then they ended the drive with a 34-yard field goal. Fumbles have been quite a problem for the Colorado Mesa so far in the game. They have lost. They've fumbled it 4 times to have not lost a fumble. Interesting stat from there. Javelinas responded almost immediately with a Trey Mitchell 67-yard touchdown run. A nice play by him. Very exciting. As we see a couple drives later, A&M had a couple of penalties on them deep into their zone that set them back around the 10-yard line, and then a nice sack by Colorado Mesa set them back in the end zone, and it was a safety, and Colorado Mesa had trailed 5-7 at that point. Fast forward, a lot of fumbles later. We get another Trey Mitchell, 3-yard touchdown run. That came after a key 4th down conversion by them. And later on, we get another touchdown run by Colorado Mesa, their quarterback going in for them. Kaiser with a 3-yard touchdown run. So all the touchdowns have been done by the quarterbacks on both teams. So great quarterbacking work. Once again, lots of fumbles. 6 fumbles combined, 4 by Colorado Mesa, and 2 by Texas A&M Kingsville. None of them lost. As we compare some stats, not a lot of passing from the Javelinas, only 42, but they've been rushing quite a bit. 101 yards on 20 rushes all in the first half here. Colorado Mesa has not had that much luck on the rushing game, 46 yards on 24 attempts, but have had 143 passing yards. First down-wise, Colorado Mesa, the Mavericks, have had 10 first downs, although they trail, versus the A&M Kingsville, the Javelinas have 6. Possession time, of course, Mesa has had the ball for 16 minutes and 9 seconds. Javelinas had it for 13 minutes and 51 seconds. Once again, Javelinas, although they have not had control of the ball for the majority of the game, they still have the lead. As we look at some individual stats here, bring those up. If we look at the Javelinas first, Greg Petrie, has had 3 receptions on the day, 31 yards. Not a lot of receptions. That's passing. On the rushing side, Trey Mitchell's had 6 attempts, 75 yards gained, most of them on that touchdown run early on, averaging about 11.5 yards. He has 2 touchdowns. Teo gained about 35 on 6 carries, averaging about 5 and 3/10 on there, and his longest came at 23 yards. As you take a look at Colorado Mesa, their their receiver, Ian Jude, a senior, has had 8 receptions to 73 yards and averaging about 9.1 yards per catch. And their quarterback, Kaiser, Eric Kaiser, I believe, has had 12 attempts, completed six of them, and no touchdowns. His longest was for 39. On the rushing side for the Mavericks, we had, DJ Hubbard with 9 carries, 40 yards gained, averaging 4 and 3/10. His longest was 15. So once again, not too much offense from either side. A lot of the quarterbacks getting it done here, as you see Kaiser took their a 3-yard run for the sole touchdown for the Mavericks. Look a bit at the defensive side of the ball. We've had 1 sack committed by the Javelinas. That was number 41. 41. Mark Sevier. 1 sack. He had a bit of some assistance by number 7, Brendan Robinson, and number 13, Joshua Toki. Colorado. Colorado Mesa, that is, has had no sacks, but they've been pretty solid on defense, although the rain has kind of contributed a lot to a little bit of the sloppiness. It's really hard to hold on to that ball. A lot of fumbles. Once again, 6 fumbles on both sides combined, 4 by Colorado Mesa, 2 by A&M Kingsville. And the Javelinas have had 3 tackles for a loss, 1 by Taylor Pesic, Mark Sevier, and number 31, Corey Alston. Individually on the tackling side for the defense, they've had 6 tackles for loss, including 2 by number 36, Isaac Koch, and 2 from number 28, Ollie Olson, a redshirt sophomore. So once again, a lot of fumbles, but a little bit of everything. Safety, a lot of great quarterback plays by both sides. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break here as it's halftime here at Helena Stadium. A&M Kingsville leads 14 against Colorado Mesa 12. I'll have some Lone Star Conference scores after the break. This is Timuk.tv.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
And we are back here in Javelina Stadium in beautiful Kingsville, Texas. Wet Kingsville, Texas. The rain has subsided for now, as we had quite a bit of a torrent to start off the game. As we're going to check out some Lone Star Conference scores. First off, we have Angelo State versus Western State. They just started the 4th quarter. Angelo State has a commanding lead, 31-6 against Western State. Once again, this is Robert Breedlove here in the Javelina halftime show. Check out some of the stats from around the conference. We have West Texas A&M going against Tarleton State. So we bring those up. More or less see action coming up. Once again, it's a 14-12 lead by the Javelinas here in Kingsville. Trey Mitchell having 2 rushing touchdowns. Take a look at the scores here. Texas A&M Commerce are knotted up with Stephen F. Austin, 31-31. Keep in mind, Stephen F. Austin is actually a Division I school, so Commerce actually just came off last week of an absolute drumming of, I believe, East Texas Baptist. It was a 95-20 win for them. It was actually a record for most, I believe, the most points scored in a game in a Lone Star Conference game. most scored in the half, 56 points scored in the half. As we have another score here, West Texas State, North Texas A&M, and Tarleton State, I believe, are in the half at the half right now. They're knotted up at 10. Actually, I believe they just started the third quarter. So we check out some of those. Once again, West Texas State. Javelinas will actually be playing Texas A&M Commerce next week in Arlington at AT&T Stadium. So once again, it's a game to watch for. Got Midwestern State in Missouri. That is Missouri S&T. It's 31-20 in the second quarter with about a minute and a half left. Once again, a relatively close game. Midwestern State doing quite well for themselves. Just as a case-in pass was just intercepted by Christian at the Missouri S&T 41. So quite a bit of action going in the LSC. Once again, A&M Commerce is the next opponent for the Javelinas. They are actually tied 31-31 with Stephen F. Austin. Once again, a Division I school, so it'll be quite a big test for the Javelinas. Meanwhile, in the here and now in wet Kingsville, Texas, the rain has stopped, but the Javelinas are still hot. They lead 14-12 against the Mavericks of Colorado Mesa. All right, that's going to be it for the halftime show. This is Robert Breedlove. I hope you all are enjoying this game, and we will have more after this.
And welcome back to Javelina Stadium. My name is Ferris Sabawi with the Javelina Broadcast Network. Got Ray Castillo by my side here. Javelina Broadcast Network, a completely student-run production. We've had a lot of fun all day. Started with the Pepsi Tailgate Central, bringing you the game, and we'll also we'll get some post-game analysis from you and Breedlove following the second half here.
Yeah, we look forward to that, and hopefully it'll be some good news for you guys. Hopefully a Javelina win.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Second half just about coming your way, maybe about 2 minutes away here. Javelina's lead 14-12, and you know Javelina's started with a sizable lead after back-to-back touchdowns from Trey Mitchell. First finding the 76-yard drive on his own, calling his own number. That was the first play of the game for the. That was the first play of the first drive for the Javelinas.
Yeah, Ferris. And we talked last week about Trey Mitchell, how he would respond after a disappointing first debut as a Javelina, and he did just that with the 2 touchdowns. He showed his speed. He showed what he can do when you give him time in the pocket. And although the throws haven't been there, the running game has been supporting him as much. But it's been good to see him run the ball and to make those plays.
Yeah, and what started off as a really, really rainy affair, a little calmer now. The rain not falling as hard. 6 fumbles came from that first half because of the slippery conditions. None of them received by the opposing team. All fumbles recovered by the team that fumbled the ball. So we'll see how the second half comes out. Javelina's lost a lot of steam there going into halftime, so you're going to have to see how they respond. That's always an interesting thing. But the good thing for them, Ray, is that they do start off with the ball.
Yeah, that's true. And starting off with the ball, getting Trey Mitchell out there, getting him in the rhythm early to start the second half will be very important for their offense to come together. Coach Callaway gathers with them now. They just had their halftime speech, went over some notes. They know last week they were in the same situation. They had a small lead going into the half, and they start this third quarter with that lead. And
yeah, he called every player over there to talk over some strategy with them.
And it's going to be interesting, Ferris, to see how they respond. As of last week, they came into the third quarter, and it all slipped away for A&M Kingsville. So with the third quarter underway here in Game 2 of the season for the Javelinas, it's going to be important that they start this drive early, and, when the defense is called, that they respond.
Yeah, so kickoff just about underway here. Keep talking.
We got second half about to unfold here.
Do you guys know where
Players running onto the field. Javelinas will start the ball. Will start to receive the second half here. Washington, the LSC Special Teams Player of the Week, looking to receive on the Javelina side of things. And the rain is completely gone. Oh, no, I take that back. There's a few drizzle and sprinkling out here on the field. So the field will still be a factor when it comes to being slippery, but not as heavy as earlier. And that's a good sign for these players who, with as Ferris mentioned, 6 different turnovers due to fumbling on that wet field.
Yeah, so kickoff here, and it is on about the 40-yard line. So pass picked up there by number 36 for the Javelinas. That was Trey Oliver, who just had to catch it there and just put it down.
Yeah, and you noticed on that play that they wanted to take advantage of where Colorado Mesa kicked the ball, and they're going to have it on the 39-yard line as Trey Mitchell goes to get behind center and start this second half off the right way.
So the Javelinas going to start their drive here with 15 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Javelinas first and 10 here, ball on their own 38-yard line. Trey Mitchell gets it off and calls his own number to start off the second half as he did the first one. Looks like it's going to be no gain on the play.
And Trey Mitchell picking up where he left off in the first drive of the first half, the first quarter,
Yep.
should I say. And that's calling his own number, like you said, and taking things for his own. And it worked effectively in the first half. Hopefully it can work effectively in the second half as well.
So the Javelinas line up with 14:32 left, 2nd and 8 after the pickup of 2 yards by Trey Mitchell. 13 on the play clock. And Trey Mitchell looking at the sideline, not sure on the play. 5 seconds on the play clock now. He's going to have to call something. He has to snap it. And he snaps it off, gets it off in time. Trey Mitchell, big throw there, not finding its target, Musa Mahmood.
Musa Mahmood letting him know, throw it a little deeper next time, because if he did, he would have been wide open on that play.
Yeah, and Trey Mitchell, one of his weaknesses when it comes to throwing the ball is he's just not able to aim, man. And he's, he tends to underthrow, even though his, he's in the right area, just not able to find the player that he needs to.
And the passing yard's not exactly in A&M Kingsville's favor for this game. They've done most of their work on the ground with only 42 passing yards for A&M Kingsville due to 143 for Colorado Mesa.
Yeah, that's right. They're being out-hustled, especially through the air, while the Javelinas are having the ground game advantage. They really got to stick to their rushing. It's what's been working. Trey looking to throw and finds number 6 on that reception. What a big reception there. Give credit to Jordan Thomas for the diving catch. Picks up the first down. So Trey Mitchell wanting to throw more in the second half, not finding that much luck until that last play there. So under 14 minutes left, 1st and 10. Mitchell hands it off to Joseph Teau, able to maybe jump ahead for about a yard.
And Mitchell looking very poised on that play, making that completion despite the defense coming at him. He stayed calm and he made the play, and that's something that he can do. We're talking about a quarterback that has a lot of talent, and his second game as a Javelina might have been rough in the first game, but in the second game he's been able to bounce back, and we've seen glimpses of what he is capable of doing, Ferris.
Yeah, ball is on the 45-yard line now. And 2nd and 10. And almost sacked and ends up throwing it away in time. So it's not going to be called a sack. He wasn't down.
He wasn't down, and let's see what the refs say on this play right here.
I never saw a knee hit the ground, and that is the ultimate, sign that a player is down. So
yeah, you would think if the knee was on the ground, then he'd be down, and that wasn't the case there. It's interesting to see what they call here.
So they're going to keep it at 3rd and 10. Javelina is going to have to want to score, or want to convert on this play, rather. 3rd and 10. Trey Mitchell's been throwing. We'll see if he decides to go through the air once again. Greg Petrie next to Mitchell. Mitchell, screen pass to Petrie. Oh, and that's Marquise Cardinal Jr., and I think he was able to pick up the first down. If not, it's a 4th and 1.
Marquise Cardinal Jr. showing signs of what he showed last week when he came into the game. He doesn't play a lot of time, but when he does. It seems he makes something happen.
Yeah, Marquise Cardinal also somewhat undersized, but the screen pass really helps the Javelina's backfield rate just because they are smaller players, and when you do the screen pass, it usually gets them in a little bit better of open field.
Right, and when you can block for him and Greg Petrie, they can definitely hurt you and make things happen despite their height.
Marquise Cardinal still out there next to Mitchell. And Mitchell calls for it, gives it back to Cardinal. Cardinal breaks through, Cardinal finding some yardage there, able to keep the ball while he's getting tackled, always important, especially in these conditions. Javelinas pick up the first down and get in the red zone.
Marquise Cardinal Jr. standing at 5'9", 181 pounds. Not your typical size for a running back at the college level, but he's doing work tonight.
Yeah, and try to give it back to Cardinal, and Cardinal stopped in his tracks. Couple of extracurricular plays there after the down between number 74 for the Javelinas, which is, Christian Garcia, and it looked like number 36, Isaac Koch there.
Yeah, despite the no gain on that play for Cardinal, you know, the Javelinas are trusting in him and letting him have a chance at least, and they're showing it right there, constantly giving the ball back to him.
Yeah, Cardinal's been the one of the only backs here. Joseph Teo had to run a little bit earlier, but Cardinal so far has been the premier back of this drive at least. 2nd and 13, ball is on the Mavericks' 20-yard line. And the throw there to number 80, Patrick LaFleur. Able to pick up a little bit of yardage, not too much though. So Patrick LaFleur picks up just pick up of a couple yards. It's going to make it 3rd and 9. Javelina's going to want to try to get the first down and get a couple more yards to try to score here. They're all looking to the sideline here, looking for what play to do. Play clock right now is at about 16 with 11:18 on the game clock for the quarter.
And Trey Mitchell showing you what he can do when you give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, 8 seconds now on the play clock. Trey Mitchell gets it, hands it off to Cardinal. Cardinal almost broke through there. I really thought he was going to manage to find the end zone.
I really did too, Ferris. Just one grab away from running that in there to give Javelinas another touchdown.
Yeah, so they find themselves to the 11-yard line, and the kicking squad is going to have to come out, and a good choice. It looked like Mitchell kind of wanted to stay out there, but I think it was a good and a smart choice for the Javelinas to stay with the kicking squad on there, just kind of cushion their lead a little bit.
Yeah, an impressive drive by A&M Kingsville on that drive to set up another field goal here for them.
Yeah, Lenning was 0-2 for field goals last game against the Humboldt State Lumberjacks. Let's see what he does here with this kick. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout on Colorado. They had one too many players there on the field.
Yeah, Javelinas with a little bit of too much there on the field, hurting themselves a little bit on that play. But let's see if they can regroup here and give Lenning another chance to kick it, even though it might be 5 yards farther.
No, well, I think it was the Mavericks that had an extra player down. They're the ones that ended up burning the timeout.
You're right. Excuse me. Colorado Mesa with having to burn another timeout due to how many players they had on the field there.
Yeah, 10:25 left in the third quarter. Just a short timeout here as they talk it over. You know, Lenning's just going to come back for the throw. No flag on the play. They did not decide that there was, they didn't throw the flag before the snap happened. 4th and 4. It's going to be, the ball's on the Colorado 11-yard line. So it's going to be about a 21-yard field goal. Not too far, but like I said, Lenning 0-2 in field goals last week against the Lumberjacks. Got to see how he responds here.
And Lenning with those pregame warm-ups before the game while everybody else was away from the rain. He was out there practicing.
And Lenning, big kick there. And finds the distance between the poles there. Able to pick up 3 points on that 21-yard field goal. So makes the score 17-12 with 10:22 left in the third quarter. Let's take a quick commercial break here on the Javelina Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Max Lenning kicking the ball off to start the drive for the Mavericks. And that's Jordan. Oh, brought down there at the 45. So a big run there by number 34 for the Mavericks. That is Daryl Hawkins, I believe.
On the tackle for the Mavericks, number 35, Daryl Hawkins.
So Mavericks going to start off their drive here at the 47-yard line. So picked up a certain, definitely a good amount of yardage, a shorter field to work with here for the Mavericks. And a little bit of rotating quarterbacks between Andrew Cota and Eric Kaiser. But Eric Kaiser right now is taking the field to start the second half.
Yeah, Cota came in for a little bit, the freshman quarterback. And he showed that if you pressure him early, you can get him to force throws. And Kaiser's back in to try to get things going back for Colorado Mesa.
Yeah, and a penalty called on the Javelinas. Looked like it might have been a legal formation or an extra player on the field. Kaiser snaps, gives it off to Hubbard. Hubbard not able to break the line. You got to give a lot of credit to number 92 there for the Javelinas. That was Henry Greathouse able to hold things strong for the Javelinas.
Yeah, Henry Greathouse with a great tackle there, the 6'1" defensive lineman, the senior on the team, one of the
captains.
One of the veteran captains that the Javelinas can rely on.
So 2nd and 5 here, no yardage given up on that one. And the fake handoff, Kaiser calls his own number. Jumps through, not enough for the first down, and a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be on the Javelinas yet again. Let's see what the refs come up with. So many flags to start things off.
So many flags, like you said, Ferris. I believe that's the 12th flag of the night for both teams.
Yeah, and you could already see the defense making their way back. 15-yard penalty after that penalty, or after the call on Cameron Ruelas, the linebacker for the Javelinas. So while the Mesa Mavericks haven't done too much to gain yardage, they just let the Javelinas make their own mistakes.
Yeah, the Javelinas shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here throughout the game, but they're clinging on to that 5-point lead, and let's see if they can respond here while the Colorado Mesa is driving the ball.
Yeah, Eric Kaiser has the ball now and brought down. Looks like there will be about a loss of a yard. And Kaiser a little angry there. Looked like there's a little miscommunication on that snap. Looked like he was trying to hand it off, but things didn't work out. Kaiser eventually had to run, and the defense got hold of him, making it 2nd and 11. So the ball's on the Javelina 34-yard line. 2nd and 11 with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter as the Javelinas lead 17-12.
Yeah, and Amen and Kingsville, an important defensive stand here.
Yeah, Kaiser gives it off to Hubbard. Hubbard putting some moves, but brought down by the shoestrings there. Good play by the Javelinas, not to give up too much yardage on that play. 3rd and 9.
And that's linebacker Cayman Morales with that tackle there on the play.
Yeah, picked up the personal foul a couple plays ago, but able to, make up for it. 8:26 left in the third quarter. Porky's Pack makes its way down the track. Of course, Porky's Pack, one of the children's favorites. You hear the bleachers getting loud. Lots of fans want some defense on this play. Eric Kaiser gets sacked. Eric Kaiser got his lunch packed for him. And that's a sack by number 5, Anthony Forker, picking up that sack for a huge
sack of the night. Maybe the sack of the week for what we know on that play. What an excellent defensive stand from A&M Kingsville on that play.
Yeah, they really tried to come forward on that one, inspected and rejected. So there we go. It's 4th and pretty long there after the huge loss of yards. Big Anthony Forker sack there, putting the Javelinas in good position. And they were kind of close there to field goal range, and instead it's going to have to be a punt.
And Anthony Forker with that play, giving his teammates something to talk about for the rest of the week as they're still cheering on the sidelines by that play.
And the fumble on the play. Oh, and the Javelinas, the gifts just keep coming for the Hogs.
Joe Crow getting in on the action, seeing his teammate. He wanted to get on it and make a known tackle of his own.
Yeah, and we saw the Javelinas kind of struggle a little bit with the special teams last week, and this time it looks like the special team gods aren't really favoring the Mavericks.
Yeah, they're not, and they were haunting the Javelinas a week ago, and a week later it's the Javelinas' time to get some revenge.
Yeah, so 17-12, 7:32 left in the third quarter. First and 10, the ball is on the Mavericks' 45-yard line, so that punt didn't go through after the punter there dropped the ball. And then Joe Crow, like you said, picked up the tackle, led to a fumble. And although the Mavericks recovered, it's certainly not enough to pick up the first down. So turnover on downs here. Trey Mitchell out, and it looks like he wants to throw. Petrie running, gets the ball. Petrie makes the run and picks up about 4 yards there, brought down eventually. Good job by Petrie trying to keep the defense guessing there.
Momentum definitely in the Javelina's favor as of right now, and it's just a matter of them wanting to keep it there. And with a 17-12 lead with 7:12 left in the third quarter, as of a week ago around this time, the Hoggies let things slip away. But this week it's a little bit different. They got the momentum on their side and they're capitalizing.
Yeah, rain still falling here in Javelina Stadium. Not too strong, just still falling though, and making the conditions kind of hard here. 6:55 left in the third quarter, and Jonathan Shingle with the handoff there. Jonathan Shingle able to drive out of bounds for the first down. Flag on the play. We'll see who it's on. Looked like that one might be on the defense that time, but we got to see what the refs come up with here. It looks like it's going to be on the offense.
Javelina's picking up another penalty on 13th flag of the night, and that's the 7th one, I believe, on A&M Kingsville.
Yeah, a block below the waist there is the call, so a 15-yard penalty for the Javelinas. They're going to have to restart second down. It's going to be 2nd and 23 after that penalty. Javelinas giving up too many yards on the penalty, and Ray, if they're not putting the Mavericks in better position when they're on defense, it's putting themselves in a worse one when they have the ball.
Yeah, they're really shooting themselves in the foot here on these drives, and their defense has been bailing them out, and it's a matter of time.
6:35 left on the clock. Shingle trying it again. Fake handoff there. Big throw there. Oh, and almost caught by number 6 for the Javelinas. That was Jordan Thomas almost on that catch. Jordan Thomas making a lot of the highlight reel catches that we've seen for the Javelinas, but it's going to be 3rd and 23. You know the Javelinas are going to try to throw, and you know the Mavericks are probably going to come out and put some pressure on Trey Mitchell.
Yeah, and Trey Mitchell a week ago doing the same thing when he was in these situations. He'd be forcing the ball and throw it long, and he's going to have another chance at doing it again right here.
3rd and 22 now. 17-12 is the score. 6:27 left in the game. Trey Mitchell looking at the sideline to see what play would be best here. Play clock at about 5. He needs to call it. 3, 2. Oh, and able to avoid the delay of game. And Greg Petrie getting tackled there for a loss of yards. Petrie not happy with the play. You could tell nobody is.
Javelinas looked a little confused on that sequence. I'm not sure if he even wanted to hand the ball to Petrie on that drive.
Yep. So looks like a lot of miscommunication here from the Javelinas. Not pleased with their drive, especially after the defensive energy that or the defensive momentum that we got from the Javelinas in the Mavericks last drive. Lenning is going to have to punt it again. You're going to have to hope he doesn't drop it. Conditions are slippery here. Able to pick it up. Good punt by Lenning. A lot of hang time there. And a fair catch is called. So the Mavericks going to start with a ball on their own 30-yard line. So Eric Kaiser and his squad about to take the field again. Let's take a quick commercial break here. We're on the Javelina Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Javelina Stadium. I'm Ferris Bowie, got Ray Castillo by my side. Mavericks starting their drive here on their own 32-yard line, 1st and 10 with 5:40 left in the third quarter. Andrew Cota back on the field and able, with a rainbow pass there to DJ Hubbard. Hubbard spinning around, breaking some tackles, able to pick up some big yardage there. Definitely a first down, a game of about 12 or 13 there.
Mavericks once again switching quarterbacks at will, and Cota, he's able to, when you give him time, he can make the passes there for the freshman quarterback.
And 1st and 10 once again here. DJ Hubbard gets it again, breaks through again. And DJ Hubbard finally brought down fumble on the play. And it looks like the Mavericks have recovered. That was number 7 on the recovery for the Mavericks, Ian Judd.
And DJ Hubbard
flag on the play,
forcing the issue there. He looks like as he had that touchdown and he didn't look to see where he was holding the ball, and it cost him.
Yeah, let's see what the refs call here.
Mavericks fortunate to recover on that drive.
Most definitely. And maybe the bench getting a little too riled up. I didn't know it was a flag to have some energy down there.
Yeah, that's right. And that's how many flags is that, Ferris? That's the 13th flag on the night for both teams.
Yeah, the refs wanting to air a lot of their dirty laundry out there.
They are, and they're really getting a workout, too, in that wrist.
All right, so only 7 yards here to go, and it looks like Price is going to and another fumble on the play, but the ball goes out of bounds. So Javelina is able to force a lot of fumbles, but the ball not finding their way into their hands. And the Javelinas really want to turn over here. A touchdown by the Mavericks would give them the lead.
Yeah, and that's something that happened a week ago in the third quarter against Humboldt State. They were able to take the lead in the third quarter. With 5:02 left, the Javelinas trying to prevent that.
Yeah, 5:02 left in the third quarter. Just about a yard to go. Cota going to hand it off here, and not enough. And it looks like it's going to be on the 1 yard line yet again.
Yeah, and you talk about the wet conditions. I think the wet conditions helped the Javelinas on that play. Kept him from getting in the end zone. He might have slipped right before he walked in there.
Yeah, it looks like the Javelinas have been handling the conditions a little bit better, like you said, Ray. We'll see. It's 3rd and 1. We'll see what they come up with here. Andrew Cota, quarterback. And Jerron Dennis. And Cota's going to call his own number. But he's brought down. It doesn't look like it's a touchdown. We'll see what the refs call here.
Javelina's doing all you can do when your opponent is 1 yard away from scoring a touchdown, and they're really doing a great job of holding down the Mavericks there from not even getting close.
Yeah, 4th and goal, and it looks like a timeout is going to be called by Colorado Mesa. It looks like they're going to try to go for it here. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
It's like there's no touchdown on the play. Welcome back. And there's no touchdown. And the Javelinas able to hold the line strong, give the Javelina defense a lot of credit on that one. It is a turnover on downs, Ray. They do have the ball on the 1 yard line, but give them credit not giving up 6 crucial points.
Colorado Mesa electing to go for it on that play, taking a risk on 4th and 1, and A&M Kingsville comes through and stops them in their tracks. And like you said, Ferris, they come up with nothing.
Yeah, and the defense has been keeping the Javelinas the lead, but really the offense is going to have to make something happen. They need a couple of points on the board.
Yeah, the Trey Mitchell that we saw in the first quarter, he needs to come to life now here with 4:09 left in the third, and it's going to be interesting to see what play calls they go through.
Yeah, this is certainly tough field position for the Javelinas, about the longest field you could work with. They're just going to have to try to grind the ball and move it up. and they do so here to start things off. Just quarterback sneak, maybe picked up a yard or two. And that's really what you need in this kind of situation, especially when you're on exactly the 1 yard line. You got to give yourself, you got to grind some room out just so you can, have some room to play with.
Yeah, and especially when you have a 5-point lead, you're not going to try to do too much. Obviously, you want to get a big drive out of this, but the A&M Kingsville not taking any chances.
Yeah, and Colorado Mesa last week able to score on 5 out of their 7 trips in the red zone, and this time it certainly has not been as successful. Only 1 touchdown coming from Eric Kaiser so far.
We're seeing a more consistent A&M Kingsville defense this week against Colorado Mesa.
2nd and 9. Ball is on the Javelina 2-yard line. 3:21 left in the third quarter. And another safety is going to be called here.
And that's for Colorado Mesa, that's already 4 points on safeties.
It puts them in field goal range to tie things up. So the Javelina defense held strong. Javelina offense couldn't get the job done. I guess you can't blame them too much when the ball's only on the 1 yard line, not too much of a field to work with.
Well, this is the 3rd time that A&M Kingsville has been within 5 yards from their own end zone, and it's going to be difficult whenever you get cornered like that. Give Colorado Mesa credit. They're doing what you're supposed to do when your opponent's on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, 7-14 now is the score after that safety. 3:10 left on the clock for the third quarter. Tough luck here by the Javelinas. Not only do they give up the 2 points, they're going to have to give up the ball as well.
That is true, and that's one thing Coach Callaway is going to want to look at this week with his coaches is preparing for these kind of situations when you're 1 yard away from a safety, because it's already happened twice today, Ferris.
Yeah, don't want to give up too many safeties. It's a little bit embarrassing for the Javelinas to do so, especially twice. So 3:10 left in the third quarter. Javelinas still hold the lead after that Max Lenning field goal, keeping them up just by 3 points. You got to see how they respond, man. Javelinas going to have to depend on their defense once again.
Yeah, their defense coming through for them indeed, and talk about it last week, being up by 3 points in the third quarter. It's the same scenario again. It's just a matter of can A&M Kingsville hold on.
Yeah, big kick there by Max Lennon, going to fall about at the 20-yard line. Oh, and it dropped the ball. It goes to DJ Hubbard. Hubbard trying to spin around, not going to work, and Hubbard is dropped at about the 20-yard line. So while the offense couldn't get it done, had to give up a safety, looks like the special teams made a good play, able to stop the Mavericks at their own 20-yard line. So the Mavericks are going to have to work to earn their points here to start off this drive.
Yeah, that's right. 3:02 left in the third quarter, and A&M Kingsville doing a great job on defense. It seems, the offense is coming up short on these drives, and their defense is saying, well, we'll bail you out and give you another try, and they've done that so far. Javelina's holding on to a 3-point lead with 3 minutes left, and obviously I keep bringing up last week, Ferris, but I bring it up only because that they were in the same situation.
Yeah, most definitely. You're going to have to see how, and even if the Javelinas come away with a close win here, Ray, they're going to have a lot of questions to answer. Specifically, how are they going to find their way to the end zone? Only 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and they really haven't seen the end zone since.
Yeah, Trey Mitchell, the story of the first half with his 2 touchdowns, but it hasn't really been anything else since then. And they're running the ball. They were running the ball quite well, and it seems to get away. And like I said, their defense has been bailing them out, and their offense just has, gone quiet in this third quarter.
3:02 left in the third quarter. Javelinas up by 3. The ball is on the Mavericks' 23-yard line to start this drive. And the ball goes to Jerion Dennis. Tackled there before he could really see the light of day. Picks up a gain of about 3 or 4. So ball going to be at the 26-yard line. Andrew Cota still out there. It looks like they're going to try to go with a 2-quarterback system here if you're the Mavericks.
Yeah, and it hasn't really been all that for them. And Andrew Cota, the freshman quarterback, showing that if you do pressure him, he will tend to make a little bit of an error.
Yeah, shotgun formation here. Gives it off to Price. Oh, and or actually that was Jerion Dennis, excuse me. Almost picked up the first down there, but not quite. It's going to be 3rd and 3. 3rd and 2, excuse me.
Another third down for A&M Kingsville.
Yeah, Javelinas certainly are going to want to hold their line strong and hopefully, put the ball back in Trey Mitchell's hands rather than the Mavericks' possession. 3rd and 2, crucial down for the Javelinas. And third down conversions for the Mavericks. They're 4 of 12. Jerion Dennis gets the ball, and it's going to be enough for the first down. Jerion Dennis picks it up for his team, so able to give his team a fresh set of downs. It looked for a chance there that Dennis was going to be tackled before he made it to the first down, but nonetheless, Dennis able to break through with his shifty moves there. Price comes on, or excuse me, DJ Hubbard comes on. Dennis comes off. Coda still on the field. And Coda wants to pass, scrambles, and he goes for the run and able to pick up about 7 on that play. So Javelina's, they really anticipated the pass there and, able to stop the bleeding there. So 1:15 left in the third quarter. It's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, Coda doing a great job to avoid the tackle on that play and make something happen.
Yeah, 2nd and 2 here. Coda has the ball. It's going to be a offside, false start.
Yet another flag in this game affair. That's 14 total on the night.
Yeah, several flags called throughout the entire game here. And
approaching a minute left in the third quarter, and the Javelinas holding on to that 3-point lead. So you can say that it's been a better story through despite the penalties.
Yeah, actually 16 flags so far. And handing it off there. Oh, and the Javelinas able to catch him. Oh, man, number 95 for the Javelinas, able to pull him by the jersey and keep him down. So Darius Lively, give him credit on that one.
Darius Lively, the 250 defensive end, senior out of Dallas, Texas, with an unbelievable play on that drive. Another third down for A&M Kingsville.
Yeah, it makes it 3rd and 10 here. The clock is running. Under 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They might just let the clock run out. It looks like it's about even. Play clock and game clock about even here. Coda wants to throw and finds Ian Jed there. And so after the Javelinas were able to come up with some big defensive plays, they give up the first down. 3.8 seconds left in the third quarter.
Javelinas with a much improved third quarter than last week, despite the errors and the safeties.
Well, at the end of the third quarter here, Javelinas lead 17-14. It's a close one here at Javelina Stadium. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Fourth quarter here. Javelinas have the 3-point lead, 17-14, 15 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Just getting started. Andrew Cota with a big throw to start things off and does not find its target. A little overthrown there, although it was intended for Stephen Lindquist.
Yeah, that seems to be the case for Andrew Cota. Gets pressure just a little bit and he'll make the error throw.
Yeah, Andrew Cota after that one. See how he does here. It's shotgun formation. Cota calls his own number and he gets stopped there. So just about no gain on the play. Looks like it's going to be another 3rd and 10.
Andrew Cota tonight is his first action ever in a NCAA football game, and the Javelinas are aware of that. And ever since they made the switch, they are doing everything they can to make him feel pressured and make him feel like, you know, you're not the starting quarterback, and we're going to do all we can to get you out of here.
Yeah, right now Andrew Cota 8 of 11 on the throws, so good for him, even though he kind of dropped that snap there. Almost caught, and he drops the ball. And it looks like the Javelinas recovered that one there. And it looks like it's going to be Javelina's ball, I believe. We'll see what they call. Too many people in the scrum here. And it's Javelina ball. And a flag down on the play, but I think it's going to be holding on Colorado Mesa to stop that sack.
That's right, Ferris, and I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Coda being pressured leads to good things for A&M Kingsville.
That's right, Coda being pressured. Freshman, he has thrown 8 of 11 so far, thrown 93 yards, but give the Javelinas credit, able to sack him twice and sack Eric Kaiser once. So Javelina's defense is seriously the storyline of this game. Regardless of whether the offense can add on a few more points here to end the quarter or not, regardless, you know, the defense has been holding quite strong. You got to give them a ton of credit.
That indeed, the Mavericks come in with 4 points due to safeties and a field goal. Other than that, only 1 touchdown against this A&M Kingsville defense.
Yeah, Trey Mitchell now has the ball. The ball's on the Maverick 42-yard line to start the drive for the Javelinas, so good field position to work with. Oh, and Greg Petrie dodges the tackle. Greg Petrie keeps going. Greg Petrie to the 10 and pushed out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Greg Petrie picking up some big yardage. Little man, big yardage.
Little man indeed, and it doesn't matter for Greg Petrie because if he finds a hole, he's going to take advantage and go all the way, which he almost did. He stopped 5 yards shy. But what a sign for Greg Petrie, taking advantage regardless of the wet field. It doesn't matter for the young man. He made it happen on that drive.
And this is where it's going to matter for the Javelinas. 1st and 6 here. Only 6 yards to go until the end zone here. 1st and goal. But Javelinas haven't been able to score in the second half at all. Let's see what they come up with here. And Mitchell calls his own number. Has to run. Able to gain a couple yards on the play. He does take a bit of a fall there, but gets right back up. So Mitchell, certainly good thing for the Javelinas that Mitchell didn't take too hard of a fall.
Yeah, A&M Kingsville showing signs of what they had in that brilliant first quarter earlier tonight, and they're showing signs on this drive as they're now 2 yards away from getting into the end zone for another touchdown that'll pad that lead.
Yeah, Greg Petrie still in the backfield here. 13:33 left in the 4th quarter, 3 yards to go for the Javelinas to try to find the end zone. Trey Mitchell looking at the sideline, trying to get the play here. Let's see what they come up with. Mesa's been pretty strong in red zone defense. And Petrie gets the ball. And a fumble on the play. Let's see who comes up with it. It looks like it's going to be the Mavericks coming back. So Javelinas not able to score here with 13-14 left in the 4th quarter. If there's anything you can take away from this, it's at least that the Mavericks have such bad field position here.
That is true, or the 3 minutes that were shut off the clock. You know, the Javelinas really going to be beating themselves off of after that play.
Yeah, that's a great point. Able to shed some time off the clock, but they certainly wanted to have added a touchdown there.
Yeah, when you come that close, Ferris, you know you're going to be thinking about it. But, you know, despite that, they're going to have to put it behind them and realize that they still have a 3-point lead, and they need to hold on to it.
Yeah, ball on the Mavericks 2-yard line. Handed off there to Hubbard. Hubbard brought down there by number 7, I think, for the Javelinas. That's right, number 7 was on that tackle there, able to keep up with Hubbard.
Yeah, that's Braden Robinson, the defensive lineman.
So 2nd and 1 here. Javelinas going to want to try to hold the line and keep this play where it is. We'll see what happens. Eric Kaiser back on the field for the Mavericks. Offside call. Oh! That was a bit of a big hit there on Joe Crow.
Joe Crow with an unbelievable stand on that play. There's a flag on the play. I waited to see what happens. Didn't look like pass interference to me, Ferris. Not sure what the call is, though.
No, it didn't. It was actually an offsides call there on Braden Robinson. Just started a little bit too early. So it's going to be a 1st down here, 1st and 10 to go with the ball on the 16-yard line, 12:40 left on the clock.
Talking about the great defense Kingsville has brought tonight, Joe Crow leading that defense with a few key plays already.
Eric Kaiser calling his own number, breaks through the line, able to pick up about 5 yards. And so a little bit of discussion here on the downs. And Colorado Mesa trying to keep the tempo up, but the refs kind of disagreeing on where the ball is. So it's going to be 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 actually it looks like. Hands it off to DJ Hubbard. Hubbard breaks through. Finally brought down by number 92 for the Javelinas. That was Henry Greathouse on that tackle.
Yeah, Captain Henry Greathouse able to stop the bleeding there, which would have been a huge drive for Colorado Mesa, but they were able to get the first down anyway.
Yeah, Ian Judd coming off there with a limp, and Judd, one of the biggest receivers for the Mavericks, as 12:06 is left in the game. Javelina's up by 3 points, 17-14. And Judd, one of the top targets for both Kaiser and Coda. So Judd goes off with a limp. We'll see how that affects the rest of the game here. Like I said, one of the top receivers in the game thus far. 12 minutes on the clock. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks.
Yeah, Judd has been a great for them offensively, the senior wide receiver.
Yeah, and DJ Hubbard not able to pick up any yardage there. It looks like it's going to be 2nd, maybe 11.
And with 11:45 left to go in the game, Ferris, you know, Javelinas, this is their chance to shine on defense.
Yeah, Javelina's defense has been holding up thus far, but you got to wonder, they've been bending a lot. You got to wonder when the breaking point is. 2nd and 10 with 11:30 on the clock. Eric Kaiser fakes the handoff. Tough throw. And that pass is complete. So Mesa makes it to the 42-yard line of the Javelinas. So Kaiser scrambled, pressured, but was able to find the reception there, and it's another 1st and 10.
Yeah, Vernal Moon with a great catch on that play for the Mavericks.
Kaiser gives the ball off here. Oh, and Jerion Dennis not able to find too much yardage. Picks up about a yard or two on the play there. Good job by the Javelinas to stop him. And, you know, the Javelinas doing well when the Mavericks try to stay on the ground, but so far it's really all about the Mavericks passing game.
Yeah, Andrew Coda coming in and often with Kaiser, and they're doing a great job with that combination so far in this 3rd quarter to 4th quarter.
And another big pass there, so that pass is complete to number 5 for the Mavericks. Big catch there by Blaine Jackson. So even with Ian Judd not on the field for the Mavericks, it looks like they're still going to target. They want to target a lot, want to target often. And the Javelinas want to take a break to talk it over. So let's take a quick commercial break. 10:36 left in the game. Javelinas up by just 3 points. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Javelina Stadium here. Ball is at the Javelina 25-yard line. Mavericks 1st and 10. And we'll see what they come up with here. Eric Kaiser drops the ball. And Henry Greathouse recovers the fumble. So right when the Javelinas needed a break, boy, did they get it.
Boy, they're getting breaks indeed. Both teams are. Every time one team seems like they're about to do something great, the other team stops them and they get a little bit of luck. But you know, Ferris, you're going to need a little bit of luck sometimes, and the Javelinas are definitely taking advantage of that.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of wet and slippery conditions there, but you really, you know, when the Javelinas are on their home field, I feel like maybe they just know how the ball is going to be a little bit better than the Mavericks do.
Yeah, and Greathouse, you know, he's been playing here. This is his 4th year. He knows a little bit. He knows where the ball might go a little bit, being here for 4 years.
Yeah, 1st and 10. 10:31 left in the game here. Ball is on the Javelina 30-yard line to start off this drive. Trey Mitchell going to have 4 downs to work with here, and it looks like it's going to be a false start. Yep, false start on the offense. So Javelinas, after recovering the fumble, ending up losing 5 yards on that play, so the ball is now on the 20-yard line to start things off, or the 25-yard line, excuse me, to start things off for the Javelinas.
Yeah, Harrison, with 10:30 left to go, Javelina is in a much better position than they were a week ago with that 3-point lead.
Yeah, 1st and 15 here. It's a lead, but it's not a comfortable one. Let's see what they come up with. Gives it off to Sean Vasquez. Vasquez able to break the line, and he's still breaking that tackle. They're going to say it was enough forward momentum to stop the play there.
Yeah, Ferris. And you mentioned having that comfortable lead. I agree with you 100%. Javelina's not pleased with this, and they definitely want to try to get something done here with 10 minutes left to go.
It's absolutely certain that they need to at least score one more touchdown just to make sure things are comfortable here. 2nd and 10 after that Sean Vasquez run picked up about 5 yards there, so ball's back on the 30-yard line. Javelinas need to pick up 10 yards within these next 2 downs. Let's see what they come up with. Mitchell calls for it, hands it back off to Sean Vasquez. Vasquez able to break through, able to pick up about another 5 yards there, so it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Vasquez showing what he could do when you make a key block for him.
Yeah, and time coming off, you know, slowly but surely. 9:33 left on the clock, and you know it's important for the Javelinas maybe to go for the screen pass, maybe to go for a short pass, but certainly they're going to want to keep the ball on the ground for the majority of their drive.
Yeah, that they are, and they've done a great job so far. I wouldn't see why they would turn away from it, especially with, like you said, 9 minutes left in the game. Just want to shrink that clock down and get closer to victory.
3rd and 5 there, and a lot of miscommunication there for the Javelinas. Sean Vasquez and Trey Mitchell were kind of running the ball together there. I don't know what went on there, a little bit of miscommunication. So 4th and 4 here, 8:55 on the clock, and you know the Javelinas aren't going to want to risk this. They don't want to go for the first down with the risk of giving up such bad field position. Max Lenning's out there, going to have to make a play, going to have to make a good punt. And you know, with the conditions as bad as they are, the Javelinas might be able to capitalize off this punt and get the ball back. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, the way it's been going so far in this game, I wouldn't doubt it.
And no fair catch called here. And it's going to take a Javelina roll about to the 27-yard line. So ball switching possession quite often here. 8:25 left in the game. Javelina's up 17-14. And as the clock winds down here, 8 minutes left. Javelinas do have a close lead, but it's certainly not a comfortable one. And you got to wonder if the defense can hold strong.
Right, and that offense for Kingsville on that drive was only 3 plays for a total of 6 yards. So the defense once again going onto the field, Ferris, and they've done a great job so far. With 8:25 left in the game, can they do it? Can they hold on?
Well, and you know, one of the things that have really held back the Javelinas in this game is the penalties. 12 penalties called on the Javelinas, 105 yards the Javelinas have given up through penalties. So, you know, you really got to limit that. And as opposed to Mesa playing within the rules quite a bit here, only 5 flags on them, and they've only given up 23 yards from them. So the Javelinas, like I said, even if they do come away with a win here, it's certainly not a pretty one and not a decisive one.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, they will take it indeed. But like you said, Ferris, they really need to capitalize on these penalties.
1st and 10 here to start the drive off for the Mesa Mavericks. Ball's on their 23-yard line. DJ Hubbard next to Eric Kaiser there. And Kaiser, long throw. Oh! And give credit there to number 28 for the Javelinas breaking up the pass there. That was Kalichi Amushi. And you know Kaiser's going to throw, and you know how often they've been throwing, so great job by the Javelina secondary there.
Yeah, Kalichi Amuchi doing a great job on that play, knowing that he was going to throw, like you said. With 8:20 left to go, they're trailing 3. They're going to try to force the issue.
Yeah, now DJ Hubbard has the ball, trying to break some yards, finds some room, keeps finding room, and able to get to about the 46-yard line there. So Lamont Hill's making that tackle, but not before DJ Hubbard picked up some major yardage there, and they're about at midfield once again. 8:11 left to go in the game. Javelinas up by 3, and the clock is running now. So you know, while the Mesa, I'm sorry, that was Brandon Robinson pushing off there right before the snap even happened. You know that's going to be a flag on the Javelinas and a bad one.
Yeah, a bad one indeed, and yet another yellow flag onto the field. That's 13 on A&M Kingsville in the night.
And Brandon Robinson a little early on the push there.
A little early on the push, you know, and the fans aren't exactly pleased, you know, letting them play.
And you got to wonder what the center was saying to him. You know, that always does play a factor as the Mesa Mavericks pick up a little bit, couple more yards there on that play. And looks like a Javelina's down on the field, but he gets back up pretty quickly there. But yeah, you got to wonder what the center was saying. If Robinson reacted that quickly, you got to know something was said and something that wasn't nice either.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ferris. And you know, Javelinas, despite Colorado Mesa, they can't let them get in their head, especially with a 3-point lead and 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
Yeah, and especially with already 13 flags on the Javelinas, they had to try not to give up a penalty. A throw there to Ian Judd, and he stopped. So Brandon James on the tackle there for the Javelinas first off with 7:12 left on the clock. But maybe the Mavericks are trying to get too fancy at this point in the drive.
Yeah, that's about the third time I've seen them trying to run a trick play. You know, they did it twice in the first quarter, which was kind of odd to me. But here in the fourth quarter, I can understand them going to that. But like you said, Ferris, they're down 3 with 6:55 left to go. They're not taking any chances.
Third down conversion, always a big. Oh, and the pass is dropped. So there it is. It's 4th and 5. Ball's on the 50-yard line. You got to know this play is going to go either way.
That's right, Ferris. And if I had to pick an MVP for this game, despite not knowing the result, I would say it was the Javelina defense.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. You could give it to Greathouse. You could give it maybe to Anthony Forker. Brandon James, a lot of tackles for the Javelinas. Anthony Washington set to receive the ball here. And it looks like the Mavericks are confident in the fact that the Javelinas won't be scoring on this drive, and so they're going to punt it off.
Punt it off right to Washington, LSC Special Teams Player of the Week.
And Washington picks it up and drops it, and it looks like the Mavericks were able to come away with that one, so the defense has to take the field again. I don't know how much more the defense can take, Ray.
The defense is doing all they can. You know, they've carried the offense and the whole team on their back this whole matchup tonight. And like you said, Ferris, I don't know how much they can take, but they're going to have to take it again. And Coach Callaway's hoping they can take it again, at least for the next 6 minutes and 39 seconds left in this game.
That's right. 17-14 is the score. 6:39 left on the clock. Javelinas going to have to kick themselves in the rear end for that mistake from Anthony Washington, fumbling the ball, and Mesa ultimately recovering. So 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Eric Kaiser there. Oh, and good chop block there by Hubbard. So Eric Kaiser down there, tackled by number 55.
It's Kyle Williams making the tackle on that play, doing a great job. Kaiser had so many opportunities to throw the ball. He just couldn't find a receiver, Ferris.
And Cayman Ruelas as well. Something interesting about Kaiser is he broke the tackle and then turned right into a Javelina player. I don't know if that's how you play football.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking there. A little confused on that drive, but the Javelinas will definitely take it.
Yeah, 2nd and 15 now. Ball on the 28-yard line, the Javelina 28-yard line. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the game. Kaiser gives it off to Hubbard, and Hubbard tackled. So the Javelina defense does not want to let up, not at all. So the defense, loud, defense strong, and you know the crowd is cheering them on. Running clock here, 5:40 left on the clock and going. 3rd and 17.
Yeah, this defense doing an unbelievable job tonight. 14 points for the Mavericks, but you got to remember 4 of those points came from safeties.
Yeah, and you got to remember 3rd down conversion, always a big deal. 5:25 left on the clock. Kaiser looking at the field. You probably should expect him to pass, but with Hubbard next to him right there, it's up to anything. Kaiser splits, and a tough throw by Kaiser off while he was scrambling, not able to find it. So it's going to be 4th and 17. The ball is on the 30, making it about a 40-yard field goal here. And wind not too strong right now. Javelina's special teams have to be on point here, and they're going to want to block this field goal. Crowd is getting loud here at Javelina Stadium, Ray.
Right, they are. These fans are on their feet, and they want to see a blocked field goal or something to go in their Javelina's way.
No block on it, but not even making it. Not even close there. So 5:07 left in the game. Turnover on downs for the Javelinas. And Javelinas up 17-14. We'll see what they can come up with. We'll be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
I've seen all year long.
Yeah, that's right, Robert. Defense has been the story this game. If I could pick an MVP, it would be the defense. Henry Greathouse leading all the way. That captain special teams, excuse me, on the defense for the Javelinas.
Two safeties email on the other side. Two safeties by the Mavericks.
Trey Mitchell hands it off to Petrie, I believe. Only gets a gain of 2 on that play. Great defensive stop for the Mavericks on that play. We got 4:14 left in the ball game. Javelinas clinging to a 3-point lead, Robert. 4 minutes, 5 seconds left here. Clock continues to wind down. Javelinas taking their time on offense.
Yeah, no score so far in the fourth quarter. Javelinas did, I believe, most of their scoring in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's right, Robert. Trey Mitchell with 2 of those touchdowns in the first quarter. Has been quiet since, but the Javelinas with the field goal. And ever since then, nothing much. Their defense has been the story, and the Javelinas holding on. Like I said, 3:40 left. Mitchell hands it off. Mitchell fakes it. Mitchell calling his own number and runs it. That's 5, 10. Mitchell picking up the first down and some with the ball on the 46-yard line for A&M Kingsville. 3:33 left in the game. And if the Javelinas can continue to do what they're doing, it looks pretty good so far if they can hold on to the ball and not make any errors or mistakes.
Yeah, that fake even fooled me. My eyes were looking at the running back there, and he kind of slipped away to the right side, got some yardage, and the clock continues to tick down. Now it's 3:20 left in the game. Javelinas trying to burn that clock off and seal this victory.
A&M Kingsville 0-1 looking for their first win of the season here against Colorado Mesa. We got 3:11 left in the game. Doing a great job on defense like we said so far. Trey Mitchell trying to add to that lead though. Gives it off.
Oh.
There he goes, Joseph Teo all the way. Teo finally brought down on the 18-yard line.
Ooh,
Teo with an unbelievable run, taking advantage of his offensive line, making a hole for him, and he ran it through, and he did everything that you would want. And the Javelinas in a similar position, getting it once again within 15 yards, and they haven't been able to capitalize when they've gotten this far on their own on the Colorado Mesa side of the field. Hopefully they can do something this time with 2:45 left.
In the last drive they had a key fumble right in that red zone, and the Mavericks drove it all the way down. I believe the Mavericks gave it up on their drive, so it's been a wild game, lots of fumbles, but a lot of great defense on both sides.
Yeah, exactly, Robert. It's been a crazy one tonight. Hopefully it can lean in the Javelinas' favor towards the end, though. Hands it off here to Greg Petrie, and he stopped short of with a 2-yard gain. 2:20 left. The clock will continue to roll in the Javelinas' favor. Time starting to become the Javelinas' best friend here as we approach the 2-minute mark of the night, holding on to that 3-point lead. Javelinas, like we said, Robert, unbelievable defensive stand. 14 Mavericks have 14 points, but we got to remember 4 of those points on 2 safeties.
Yes.
Clock continues to roll. 1:50 left. Javelinas taking their time, which they should, holding on to a 3-point lead.
Colorado Mesa only has 1 timeout left
Yeah, that's right. Good point, Robert. Hands it off to Petrie. Petrie skips a defender, still going, and finally brought down. Didn't gain much, gained 2. But the important thing, Robert, is that he continues to drain the clock. And like I said, that clock is the Javelina's best friend right now. 1:36 remaining left.
One thing I noticed with the wet conditions, of course, the rain has stopped for now, as looks like Colorado Mesa will take their last
Colorado
timeout.
Mesa taking their final timeout. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Javelina Broadcast Network. We will be right back.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit Safer.
Welcome back to the Javelina Broadcast Network. We got 1:08 left in the game. The Javelinas holding on to a 3-point lead and 1 minute away from what could be their first win of the season as they're trying to hold off Colorado Mesa in a tough one that's been Javelina's defense has been the story of the night.
Yes, and what a story it is. It's been wet, wild, lots of fumbles, a couple of safeties by the opponents, Colorado Mesa. They've only had 1 touchdown, but they got those 2 safeties, 4 points for them, and the Javelinas take a timeout.
And with 50 seconds left, yes, the Javelinas do take a quick timeout. We will be right back on the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
To the Javelina Broadcast Network. Javelina's 50 seconds away from their first win of the season as we have another flag on the play here.
Looks like it'll be an offsides on the Mavericks. Javelina's trying to stick the dagger in this one. Gonna get a little bit of help from the little jumpy defense right there.
That's right, Robert, and the Javelinas will take it. Let's await this call, but I believe you're right. This might be an offsides on the Colorado Mesa. 44.2 left in the game. Javelinas trying to take their time and drain the clock.
Quite a bit of penalties on this game so far. Javelinas have had 13 for 110 yards. Meanwhile, Colorado Mesa has only had 6 now for 28 yards. So it's been a little sloppy on the penalty front for the Javelinas, but they still have the lead 17-14.
Yeah, you're right. The penalties have been sloppy. This is one of those games where the Javelinas just want to hurry and take care of it and throw it in the trash and not even look back looking at all the penalties. But the one thing that they can be proud of is that defense, Robert. That's something we have talked about all night long. Their defense has been the MVP of the night, and hopefully if their defense can hold them with 44.2 here. Actually, I'm sorry, their offense is on the field right now, but with 44.2 left, we're going to see what can happen here.
Yes.
Ref still talking over the last penalty. We believe it was an offsides by the Mavericks, but we're still waiting. And it is an offsides on the defense, and that's only going to help A&M Kingsville as the game draws to an
Getting
towards
close
the
to
end.
it.
It's getting close to the end of the ball game here, and we'll take it. The Javelinas will take that penalty, and they'll try to capitalize here and drain that clock.
Javelina's trying to put a dagger in this one. Now 40 seconds and counting, and looks like they are in victory formation. And it's a knee
Trey
down.
Mitchell takes a knee, and don't want to jump to conclusions too early because you never know. But then now, just jump to conclusions, Robert. That'll do it.
Yeah.
A&M Kingsville going to be able to win their first game of
in
the
nearly
season.
a year, actually.
Yeah, it's been
a
a
year.
while since we were
Long
able to
time
say
coming.
that to you guys, and we're happy to announce that Texas A&M Kingsville captures their first win of the season with a 17-14 lead. That, if you want to talk about what saved them tonight, and it was their defense indeed, Robert.
Oh, yeah, that defense is on fire. About, I'm not sure how many sacks we had, about 3 or 4 sacks. They've been harassing the Kaiser for the Mavericks. And, you know, and I've got to hand it off to for Mitchell, Trey Mitchell, getting those couple key touchdowns that would, I mean, just those touchdowns alone would have been just almost enough for this win. Did an excellent job rushing it. They had a good game plan going in. It's rainy, it was wet, slippery. They kept running the ball, kept on attacking. That worked. They took it a bit more to the air, and then once the rain stopped, and they got some, and they when it counts, they didn't give up that ball in the last drive, and they put that dagger right into the back of the Mavericks.
Absolutely, Robert. You couldn't have said it better. The defense was the story of the night, like you said. And give credit to Trey Mitchell. He really stepped up from last week. He didn't have exactly a great performance, but when that first quarter started, he wanted to make sure that he could put his team on his back, and that's exactly what he did, running in 2 touchdowns to give A&M Kingsville that early 14-0 lead. They were able to chip in another field goal, and that was really all they needed thanks to the spectacular play by their defense. As for the Mavericks, they go to 1-1 just like A&M Kingsville. Both teams 1-1 heading into LSE play next week, where the Javelinas will make a trip to Arlington. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they can respond after coming off this win.
Oh, yeah, A&M Commerce came off a huge win last week, 95-20 against East Baptist, East Texas Baptist, that is, thank you. But A&M Commerce, they played pretty competitively against Stephen F. Austin, a D1 team. Although they lost 17-34.
Yeah, Commerce not able to get back-to-back wins after that explosive, like you said,
Yeah,
95 points, or was it 98? 98 points they were able to put
It was
on
demolition.
on their opponent that night. And, you know, you think about an offense like that, you know, heard rumors of maybe, you know, they were running up the score, but in college football, you know, there really isn't time to be thinking about things like that. And their second team did play the remaining of the fourth quarter, even into the third quarter. They played most of the second half overall, so, you know, they just dominated. But when you're so it's going to be a better challenge. A&M Kingsville obviously a better team when it comes to talent-wise, so it's going to be a good test. It's going to be a good conference showdown. And you talk to, if you would ask Coach Callaway, you know, he'll be pleased with this win. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's pleased.
Oh, he's going to be happy about that. But, you know, one thing that I bet he'll mention is next week is when it counts, because we go into conference play.
Oh yeah.
Lone Star Conference is now, you know, that's what's on the menu for the Javelinas for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah. And you know that they have that stout defense going for them, and it'll be maybe perhaps a case of an immovable object means, well, unstoppable object meets an immovable force. Yes.
There you go,
Got
Robert.
that. I
You
got the
said it.
analogy right.
Well, I'm happy to
Kinda
announce
slipped
to
my
you
mind.
guys that the Javelinas were able to capture their first win of the season. It feels good to know that the Hoggies can go to bed tonight knowing that they tied up their season at 1-1, and they're going to look to do some work in the Lone Star Conference. When we come back, me and Robert are going to break down some of the post-game and just talk about some key things, good and bad, and most of all, we're going to mention that defense. You're listening to the Javelina Broadcast Network. We will be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the Javelina Broadcast Network. I'm here with my buddy Robert, and we're going to talk now. Welcome to the post-game show, I should say. And you know, A&M Kingsville able to come off with their first win of the season, 17-14 over Colorado Mesa, and the A&M Kingsville now 1-1 on the year before they head into Lone Star Conference play next week in Arlington, where they'll play in AT&T Stadium. You know, to take on A&M Commerce. And, you know, I just have some stats here that I'm going to go over before we get into some detail. First downs, 13 total for A&M Kingsville, while Colorado Mesa finished with 21. As for rushing yards, the Javelinas were 44 for 222. For A&M For Colorado Mesa, 53 for 128. When it came to passing, 72 yards for A&M Kingsville, 204 for Colorado Mesa. For play yards total, 58 out of 294, 81, 332 for Colorado Mesa. Now, Robert, let's talk about the game. It started in the first quarter. Our quarterback, Trey Mitchell, he wanted to make sure that, you know, he didn't have a performance like last week where he did tend to struggle. He capitalized early. He ran the ball himself. He called his own number. He'd run it in.
67 yards on that play.
67 yards on that play, Robert. He was able to put A&M Kingsville on top. Give it a 6-0 lead. Extra point was good to make it 7-0. Javelinas never trailed in this game. That's the one thing that I want to talk about because of their outstanding defense. Now, most of their scoring was done in the first quarter, you know, but come to the second quarter, you know, they didn't really do a lot offensively. But like I said, the story was the defense, Robert.
Oh, yeah, this performance, I mean, they oftentimes, I noticed last year, they tend to mirror the performance of the Houston Texans. When they lost, the Texans lost. It was kind of hard on me last year. And actually, in this season, it's kind of almost the same. They played a lot like what I saw the Texans play on Sunday. It was a heck of a defensive game. Got some great performances, some great hits in the quarterback. They pressured that quarterback all night long. He didn't really have much of a chance to score, although he did get a score in the first quarter, or the first half, that is. And though it was a bit sloppy, but, you know, it was wet, it was wild. You kind of expect that. At 17-14 scores, exactly what you expect from how rainy it's been. It's not raining now, but it was raining quite a bit. It was downright torrential in the first quarter at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Robert, and you talk about the weather. You talk about the weather being a factor. You know, whenever you get rain like this, you might say, well, it's going to be more of a running game more than a passing, and that's what it was early, at least for A&M Kingsville side of things. We talk about Trey Mitchell scoring the first 2 touchdowns. Those were both by runs by him. Greg Petrie, who had an unbelievable game. You know, he rushed for over 60 yards. He was able to capitalize on that. And then you talk about our defense, like I said, that capitalized on the whole game itself. But overall, A&M Kingsville played a lot better than they did a week ago against Humboldt State, and I was very pleased to be here by you to witness this. 17-14 lead is their final score if you're just tuning in with us. And, you know, we're going to go into next week against A&M Commerce at AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. I know you're a Texans fan, Robert.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys.
You're not big on the Cow. A lot of people aren't. You know, that's my team. But, you know, that's a story for another time. We'll talk about it. But anyway, it's just really good to have the first win of the
first
season.
Win
may
in
not have
nearly
been
a year.
Right, and it may not be Lone Star Conference. You ask Coach Callaway, he'll take it. But you know, next week is when it really counts.
Hopefully, it'll be a lot more drier.
Oh, definitely. Being inside that beautiful AT&T Stadium, the roof will be closed for the Javelinas, so they don't have to worry about that. Maybe we'll see some more passing more than running, which we saw a lot of tonight.
All right, so once again, the 17-14 win by the Javelinas over the Colorado Mesa Mavericks. A lot of defense, a lot of water, a lot of rain, a lot of fumbles, but overall a very entertaining game.
Yeah, lots of penalties too. We're talking about 14 for A&M Kingsville total. They're going to want to look back at the film.
Yeah, they can't play nearly as sloppy next week as they're going against a very tough team in A&M Commerce up in AT&T Stadium once again. So there'll be a lot of film room by Callaway, a lot of practice to get them ready for a big, gigantic, huge game, first conference game of the season against A&M Commerce. And so I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this up. This has been Robert Breedlove and Ray Castillo for the JB and all the crew here. We wish you a great night, and y'all stay dry.
Texas A&M University Kingsville thanks you for watching this special presentation of student-directed and produced media by the Javelina Broadcast Network.